In Germany, Parliament is preparing to debate the crucial next steps in its military support for Ukraine after nearly 2 years of war, a conflict that has completely reshaped its own security policy. Long-range missiles for Kyiv is one of the specific topics up for discussion today, and after billions have been pumped into defense spending already, many see this as a watershed moment for how Germany's armed forces will look for decades to come.
German Chancellor Olaf Scholz and his defence minister putting their elbows into it. Here, breaking the ground on a new ammunition plant earlier this month. The Rheinmetall factory will eventually churn out 200,000 artillery shells per year, underlining efforts to ramp up production.
We need this urgently, because as hard as this reality is, we are not living in peaceful times.
Germany has been on a journey. Before Russian President Vladimir Putin's invasion, Berlin's focus was on peace, offering Kiev little more than headgear.
We will send 5,000 helmets as a clear message that we stand by their side.
Since then, they've sent battle tanks, howitzers, Irish-T defence systems and more. And now the debate is whether it will also send some of its powerful Taurus cruise missiles. Russia's attack on Ukraine was a watershed moment, and it's forced Germans to confront some hard truths.
This means the same for the Bundeswehr as it does for German society. We must become fit for war.
The government has coughed up an extra €100 billion to bring the Bundeswehr back to life. Orders are in for new US-built fighter jets, 60 combat helicopters, and a full air defence system fit to guard the skies of Europe. Defence spending is growing again. At the height of the Cold War, West Germans spent up to 5% of GDP on security. That decreased gradually until reunification in the early 90s, when it fell off a cliff. Now it's at that 2% NATO target. And this week, the defence minister signalled there was room to grow.
With the development of our industry, what I mentioned too, that all has to fit together, and then we might reach 3% or maybe even 3.5%. It depends what's happening in the world.
And as Germany builds its production capacity and bolsters its military, the question now is whether taxpayers are willing to foot the bill.
And earlier, I spoke with Thomas Wiegold, a journalist and expert on security and defense policy. I asked him about Germany's Taurus cruise missile and why Germany is so hesitant to deliver it to Ukraine.
Well, it's a question whether you can say Germany is so hesitant. The Chancellor is so reluctant to send the Taurus, while his coalition and members of the different coalition parties urgently press to deliver those. The fear behind this is that Taurus, as a long-range weapon system, might reach areas in Russia proper, and that's something the Chancellor urgently wants to avoid.
Yeah, but then how does that differ to, say, for example, the Storm Shadow cruise missile that the UK delivered to Ukraine, that Ukraine used very effectively? That's also a cruise missile.
That's right. The systems are pretty similar, but still different. Taurus has a much longer range and is much more resistant against GPS jamming and spoofing. So the chance for the Ukrainians with a Taurus to reach strategically significant goals, like destroying the Kerch Bridge, might be much higher with this German weapon.
So you say that it's actually the Chancellor and not so much as his coalition partners who is hesitant to deliver this missile to the Ukrainians. At the same time, the same Chancellor keeps repeating that Germany will back Ukraine for as long as it takes. Is there a contradiction there between these two positions?
Yes, you can see a contradiction there. We also have this contradiction in the wording of what is on debate in the Bundestag this afternoon, there is a motion by the coalition which says Germany should deliver additional long-range weapon systems without naming it. And if you look at what Germany could deliver, the only long-range weapon system is a Taurus. So there remains this contradiction, and this is a carefully wording which is not to damage the chancellor, but still leaving open the chance to deliver those cruise missiles.
Now, Ukraine's counteroffensive against Russia hasn't really gone to plan. Does Ukraine, you think, need to show some progress on the battlefield if it wants to continue relying on German support?
Well, actually, it should be the other way around. Ukraine needs German and European support, much more ammunition to achieve those goals on the battlefield. So you can't say Ukraine has to deliver first, then it will get ammunition. It's just the other way around.
Tell me what this means, this war means for Germany itself. I mean, Germany has announced an increase in defense spending. More could potentially be coming. What does this mean for German defense and strategic policy?
Well, Germany is in the midst of a shift from international crisis management for its armed forces, think Afghanistan, think Mali, Western Africa, to defense of the country and mostly defense of the NATO territory. So this is a process which is ongoing, which will take some time, but it's in a way going back to the roots, what the German army was founded for after the Second World War.
And we'll leave it there for the time being. But thanks so much for joining us today, journalist Thomas Biegold. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Hey yo, that was hard to watch, wasn't it? Hey yo, how are you doing? That was annoying. Oh man, that was annoying. Whenever they do the whole, yeah, we actually can't send help to Ukraine, because if we send help to Ukraine, what if they actually kill some Russians with it? Oh man, oh my man, are we even understanding the scale of this? Are we on the same page? I guess we're not. Over to Germany. Yeah, previously, I guess. Previously. I mean, funny to watch from this perspective, because you're like, ha 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 ha, funny Germany. Can't really harm anyone because, you know, Nazis got defeated. I guess for people at the time it was a bit Bash chatter? Oh, nice! You have your own definition. Congratulations, Froggy. Yeah, no aid until successful counteroffensive, but counteroffensive fails because no aid, but then... There's a dump. All of them are a dump. Talking about people with questionable... self-perseverance, do we want to say it like that? Have you seen the news about that ballerina arrested in Russia? Because man, am I just seeing people debate that. Wait, where is she? Here she is. What basically happened is she's American but also Russian. She has both citizenships. She went to visit family in Russia, which was a million IQ decision in the current situation. She went to visit her family in Russia, and somehow the Russians figured out that she gave like $51.80 to a Ukrainian charity. And they got her arrested right now. She's very likely gonna end up in jail for 20 years. 20 years for giving like $51.80. Just, and your DB has life. Want Ukraine to hang on somehow, but not enough to win. Yeah. I think there was a whole debate previously on that, on the way the media is reporting on Ukraine must win and like Russia must lose types of comments, which was like, hey, which ones of them are actually understanding what's going on? Because even though it seems like more focus on Ukraine is when you say like, oh yeah, as long as it's needed or whatever, even though the focus is on Ukraine and helping Ukraine, you're still not really aware what's going to be needed for this to end. You seem to be quite a little bit deluded. Ready to learn about it? Hey, yeah. Storming Ukrainian trenches for a year might gain them freedom. True. True. To be fair, she would probably be smart enough to surrender. So, hey, at least something. Also, I wanted to talk about Navalnaya. Have you seen Navalnaya? Because I saw her make a post. Where did I see her make a post? I have a lot of tabs saved, and I'm not sure which one of them is on Julian. But I was a little bit surprised. Here she is. I was a little bit surprised. A little tiny bit surprised. This is her being like, hey guys, let's not talk about Medvedev. Let's try not to talk about Medvedev doing his stupid ass attacks on me. Let's try to instead focus on Navalny and trying to get justice for him. I was surprised. It's not really the Navalny team tactic. I think she's flying on her own currently at this position. I haven't seen the team being really active though, which is more in line in their previous actions and which kind of pisses me off. But, Medvedev speaking shit seems to be a perfect opportunity for Team Navalny to just go balls deep into the drama and get a lot of attention for basically nothing. The fact that she's kind of trying to push against that, I'm almost surprised, my man. I'm almost surprised. F-16 was in defense of Kiev already. Oh. Man, I wish. I wish. Good boob day, mediocre hair day, just like mediocre everything day. Oh my man, I had the weirdest day at work. You know what happened to me? Early morning, I'm like zombified. I don't feel like working. I hate working. Can I just cry about working first and then I'll tell you the story? But basically, an old man comes to the to work, one of the first customers, and before coming in, he went to the ATM and he got a lot of cash. So he's having like a bundle of cash in his arms and he's doing his little shopping. And he comes, like 8 years old or something. He comes to the checkout and his bill is like, I don't know, like 11 euros something. Who the fuck knows? It doesn't matter. What does matter is that this man, he can't like take one bill out of this jumble of cash. What he does is he holds the cash in this hand. He holds his other hand like this. He spits on his fingers like pff, and then he grabs the bill and like gives it to me. And it's like, what? Man, it's been on my mind. I fucking disinfected everything immediately. I've been thinking about it ever since. He just, not even like, the little lick, which is also like, ew. But like, proper spit. With everything. Ew. Oh, ew. It's been on my mind. It's been on my mind the whole day. Just the whole goddamn day. Like, why? And then, you know what happened then? We got a worker there, not a construction worker. He's one of those people who like set up the lines for electricity and shit like that. Internet lines, basically. He was setting up internet lines. So he comes to the shop and I speak to this man. Because, listen, working class solidarity, I actually love workers who come into the shop. They're like the best ones. The pensioners are horrible. The people who are like unemployed and they come to the shop to hang out because they have no friends, horrible. I love the workers. The workers are great. Uniform fetish, basically. He comes there and we're like talking and I ask him what's he doing and he says that he's setting up internet lines. And I ask him, oh, does that mean we are going to get better internet? And when I say we, I mean it on like everyone basis, right? And he's like, yeah, you're gonna have great internet. And when he says you, he also means it on like the village basis. He doesn't mean it like we as the store. and the lady behind him fucking attacks me. She's like, oh yeah, well, why are you getting the better internet? And I'm like, what do you mean, why are we getting it? Like, you're the part of the village too. No, he said you. It means just like the store is getting proper internet and everyone else has to have shit internet. Why are you getting a good one? Are you paying more? I'm like, lady, do you even have internet, you dumb fuck? So ever since then, like, first the spitting dude, and then the goddamn lady pissed. Does she have internet? I don't know if she has internet. She's also like old as shit. She never talks of anything interesting. I assume she doesn't have access to like any technology, really. It shocked me, the fact that like she knows what internet is. I was like, whoa. So yeah, I'm home right now. And I'm just happy. 700 euro business line. One time I told them, it's like internet fights, village fights basically, because I live in a village that's a bit far away from the village that I work in. So it's like, you know, which village is the shittier one, and we're both shitty. But I have good internet. I actually have good internet at home. And I don't know why we have so much better internet and they don't. There's gotta be a reason for that, but like we have really good internet here. And I used to be flexing on my friends there previously. I would be like, hey, I have better internet. And I actually always did have better internet, right? I got some friends who like always joke about wanting to try streaming, but I can't start streaming because they have shit internet. But yeah, basically, I used to be making these types of jokes. And then I started working there. And now, like, you know, sometimes they mention it as a joke, as like, oh, yeah, you have good internet, then we don't. You know, it's like one of those friends' little jokies that you make. But bro, do the people take that seriously? It's like they legit think I'm paying 700 euros for like better internet. That's the way they're acting. It's like I'm paying like, what, 10 euros, I think? It's not even like a big addition to the bill. But they genuinely act as if I'm like paying 700 euros per month just to have really good internet, to be flexing on all of these losers. It's like a village drama, but it's such stupid village drama. I can't wait to get out. That's not a job for me. I can't handle this. Oh man, it's so weird. Yeah, fucking business line. So she can watch Matt Walsh ask what is a woman. Yeah, I'm kind of sad. I'm hoping, genuinely hoping, that as the election season starts in Croatia, I'm kind of hoping we get conversations in our newspapers about, you know, genders. I'm kind of hoping we get like front page in newspapers being like, gender roles, good or bad, because I would love to see what people think. I don't want to start the conversation. I don't want to start it myself, but I do want to witness it, you know? I do want to see it. I kind of wonder what they would say. I wonder if you try to like propose the whole, you know, sex and gender difference with these people. I kind of wonder what they would say. It's a silly little thing. Your shop does end up having best internet in the village. Bro, I would be flexing on these losers. I would open the stream in half of the goddamn shop just so they can watch and cry. Hated cities like Dubrovnik. I hate Dubrovnik because Dubrovnik is filled with fish people. That's like, oh, there's layers to hatred. There's layers to hatred, okay? A layer of hatred is like urban people, because urban people are little pussies, all right? So it's like Zagreb people. Pussies. Little tiny bitch-ass pussies. But then you have fish people. And fish people are like, we don't vibe in the ways we joke. We just don't really vibe. We do... I don't know what's the way to like explain joking in this part of Croatia, but we do like fighting. We do a whole little, you know, that thing where like you have siblings and you insult them quite a lot. We do that shit. Fish people, I've learned, don't really do that sort of joking. I don't really know what they do as a joke, really. I don't even know if they have humor. They just weird me the fuck out, okay? I've had some relatives. I still, unfortunately, happen to have some relatives who are there. And it's interesting because like you really see the difference in people who grew up in the rural area, based area like me, and those who grew up in the fish people area, and they like have a completely different culture. I don't vibe with those people. I would not survive in Dubrovnik, or Dubrovnik would not survive with me. It kind of depends. I think it's like 50-50. I think I could take on an entire city of like urban fish people. But then you have like cities like Osijek, for example. Osijek is kind of chill. Kinda chill. No fish people in it, so kinda chill. And also I feel it's close enough to like rural areas to not be urban as much. It's like layers of cities. Yeah, it's chill city, isn't it? Or stuff like Vinkovci. Vinkovci is like a small town, right? Vinkovci is really, really cool. I've been there a few times. And I kind of loved it. I loved it. I was in another one. I don't know where I was. But I was in another small city relatively close to here. That was also really, really chill. So stuff like that I could deal with. Dubrovnik, you don't go to Dubrovnik. Don't go to Dubrovnik. It's way too much filled with tourists. Also, I kind of hate tourists. I've learned to hate tourists in the last few days. Very busy, upbeat always. Complete opposite to Vukovar. Oh shit, yeah, Vukovar is also kind of cool. Vukovar gives you really cheap apartments if you have a young family. Which, like, if you're a couple, you can just, like, get cheaper apartments there. Vukovar is cool for that. I don't know what else you get. I know they had, like, a whole thing with, what's the word? Trying to get more people to come to the city. And for a while, it actually worked. Oh, that's why Dad moved there. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. I hope he was having a great time. Because I do go to Vukovar relatively often. Mostly like Osijek because it's closer. Yeah, incentives. Yeah. But I've heard Vukovar has really, really cool ones. Isn't there danger of encountering Serbs? Yeah. Danger. Oh, it's like double danger. Because like there's a danger of encountering Serbs, like overall Serbs. Then there's the danger of encountering nationalistic Serbs, which is like, the only thing worse than a normal Serb. But then also you have nationalistic Croats, which also are very, very dangerous to encounter. And they tend to be just overly nationalistic people tend to be like the plague of previously war-torn areas. I don't know if you remember, but like we had a case in Croatia recently where a bunch of grown-ass people beat up some teenagers because there was like a group of teenagers and one of them was speaking Serbian. So this grown-ass group of people, of nationalistic Croats, goes on, beats up these teenagers, some of these teenagers being direct descendants of heroes of our homeland war. Like people who defended Croatia. They beat up the grandkids of people who went into the defense of Croatia just because these grandkids were hanging out with a little kid Serb too. Like come on, it's been, a few years since the war. At some point, you just gotta accept, Belgrade got bombed. They lost the war. Now we gotta learn how to coexist. But yeah. Shit like that still goes on. But the problem is that gender is not defined with chromosomes. There's a difference between biology and sociology when you're looking at these terms. Gender and sex can't be the same because one of them is what your biological gender is, and the other one of them is how society expects you to behave when you are of this specific sex. So it's a different type of a conversation. Like for example, how men are expected to behave differently in different cultures. That's like gender. That's gender expectations in different cultures. It's not the same thing as sex. Like all of these men share the same. They don't share the same genitalia. They got the same genitalia, but they're expected to behave in different ways depending on what society they were born in and what time in humanity they were born in. Didi, thank you. Too many American streamers? That's also true. Like a lot of them have been having very extensive conversations over this. It's good to be a happy man. You gotta be a happy man. You gotta be a happy man. But what did I want to talk on? I forgot. I had a comment on something. Yeah, tourists. There was this debate on like tourists on Threads recently, and I was kind of getting salty over it. There was this whole. By the way, I feel bad having Navalnaya on screen. I'm gonna show you Denmark, like giving aid to Ukraine. I don't want to keep, Russian opposition on screen for too long. It feels bad. But tourism. There's been this conversation on Threads, a relatively irrelevant one. But listen, I'm gonna explain to you how it's related. It's been about how Americans don't really travel a lot, and a lot of Americans don't have passwords. Passports. So there were lots of Europeans being like, Americans so weird. Americans never go to travel to other countries. They don't have passports. And then there was a whole little like fight thing where Americans were like, yeah, but like we're one huge country. So, I drive for a few hours. I'm still in America. I don't really need a passport. You drive for a few hours, you're probably gonna need a passport unless you're in Schengen. So, it's like a completely different thing when it comes to the length we are able to drive without getting this type of a document. And basically what it grew into is this debate between people traveling a lot and people not traveling much. And then it reached the level of debate about cultural enrichment you get when you travel. Man! Oh my man! People being like, oh yeah, I've been to like 20 countries in the last few years. Oh yeah, I definitely feel like I know way more about my local cultures than someone who hasn't traveled knows. And listen, it's one of those things that I'm salty about, right? It's one of those things that I'm very, very salty about. I had a professor in my high school who was really salty about it, and I picked it up from him. He was always talking that, like, you're not getting culturally enriched if you, like, sit on a plane and go to, let's say, France. You sit on a plane, you go to France, you see the Eiffel Tower, you get one expensive croissant there, you come back home. You didn't get culturally enriched. It doesn't count. Like, you like to think you did, but you didn't. If you were just like online, and if you had a video call with a random ass French person and had a proper conversation with them, that would be better cultural enrichment than you walking up there on the Eiffel Tower on those piss-covered steps with like 1,000 other tourists and then getting really expensive cappuccino at a tourist place and then coming home. And I was like, yeah, all right, proper opinion. No. You know how many people like legit believe that their little trips, like I could go take a Riva tourist trip right now, go to Greece, go back from Greece after spending a few hours there. I could pretend to be better than every single person in the universe. It's such a weird thing. I was so salty over it. Wait, what did I click? Okay. New NATO Secretary General is another white guy, not colored. I mean, how many colored people were really competing for the role? how many of them were there? Happiness like silence? Yeah, it was actual for Balkans mostly, because if you're happy publicly, someone's gonna steal whatever it is. You're like, yeah, I have a cool car. Someone's gonna steal it. Someone's gonna steal that shit. We had a thing recently in the country where, like, when you got into newspapers, because he has like a ranch, and on his ranch he had some really old bell from like a church, like really huge old bell, and he was flexing about this old bell, and then like someone came in and stole it. Can't be publicly happy, you gotta be secretly happy. Shh. No. I help you, Ukraine, to beat Russia. Oh wait, not Taurus. Hey, but like, listen. Sea baby drones are being collected right now. So, important. Hey, you just sent it. Nice. Important to remember, and important to constantly talk about that, and important to follow how much cash money we got. Because when I checked Stenenko today, he said they have 5 million hryvnias, which I don't know how much that is in like dollars, but I know they collected 5 million really quickly. Oh, there's a favorite. Oh, favorite. Oh, favorite is that 3 drones in 5 hours. We've been doing well. There's also the website. Oh, here it is. There's the website. And then if you go to the website and then you wait a little bit, if you go to the website and then you wait a little bit, you can see like all the information about Sea Baby. I thought it was really, really well made. There's information about Sea Baby, and then there's Sea Baby targets. There's the successful targets that they've had. Like October 29th, 2022, during the attack on Sevastopol Bay, frigates Admiral Makarov and Admiral Essen and some minesweeper, and then a patrol ship were damaged. And then they have like all of the other things. Look at him, look at him. Ah! And then it's like all of these things. It's basically like just a bunch of information about the goddamn drone. But I thought it was really cool. I thought it was really cool made. I kind of like this little graphics. And then you go on My Play and it leads you to donations. Like, come on, come on, come on, come on. So yeah, go donate for it. Go donate for it so we can see the Crimean bridge, you know, destroyed soon. Hehe. Oh wait, where was I? Discord. I need to open my Discord. I need to open my I closed it down to like save space. I don't even know if that like works in any way. I pretend I'm saving space. I pretend I'm doing useful shit. I clicked on the wrong link. Rute. What do we think about Rute? What do we think about Rute? I know what I think about Rute. I think I want Kaya to be the leader. I think I want someone from Eastern Europe and not someone from not Eastern Europe. That's my view of this. I think if I have to pick, I want Eastern Europeans. And if I don't get a chance to pick, I still want Eastern Europeans. And Rute is yeah, alright is a proper way to say it. Alright is a proper way to say it. I'm not too happy about him. Kaya will probably get a top job in the European Union. Is she going to be able to have enough influence? Because I hope she will. I hope she's gonna be able to have enough influence to be beating asses here. Secretary General, I don't really even know how much power they have, to be completely honest. Ultra woke politician, he says. They bring coffee and stuff. Yeah, they like clean your shoes. They walk around with, you know, in short skirts and shit like that. Danes and North Europe, generally good in war questions. Yeah. True. Denmark has been quite strong on this. True. I really wish it would have been Kaya. I really wish it would have been Kaya. I'm not trusting our little friendies. Talks about someone from Eastern Europe leading the new defense commission. Oh, nice. Okay, that makes me interested. Ooh.
Another hyperbole is if we don't stop this now, next Russia will move against NATO. There isn't a single NATO country that Russia could defeat right now in a war. If they couldn't take Ukraine, it was not a member of NATO, who did not have a military that was well-resourced, whose territory that had already penetrated, whose intelligence services they had already deeply penetrated before this. If they couldn't do that and they can't do it now, how are they going to take any of these other countries? Leaving aside the NATO alliance for a moment. Russia's in no shape to invade or take anybody for a substantial period of time. Threaten? Yes. Maybe acts of sabotage, maybe, you know, destruction with agents or criminals that they hire? Yes. But invade and take a country? The Poles would crush them. The Lithuanians would destroy them. It's not, that's hyperbole, that's what's next here. hyperbole.
Lithuanian.
In some cases, I've heard this referred to almost like if we're living back in 1939 and the Nazi war machine is pushing forward into helpless countries. I get it. There's always a desire to live in a historic time and claim, as some have here on this floor, this is a historic moment. The history of the world is going to be determined. No, this is important. This matters. This is a regional conflict with international repercussions that have a direct impact on our national security and our national interest. But it is nothing like the eve of World War II either.
You know when they said that Russia can't attack Ukraine because attacking Ukraine would weaken Russian position with the West, and Russia wouldn't do something like that? I kind of feel like that. It's gonna like, oh yeah, Russia could go and attack Poles, the Poles would crush them. Would they? Would they? Would they really crush them? Or would we see Russia trying to destabilize Poland from inside by trying to pay some agents within the country, and then Poland would try to fight against it, and then would be like, oh no, Poland, what are you doing? This is like when Ukraine was Dombili Bombas. Oh, you wanna be attacking people in your own country just because you disagree with them politically? No, Poland, you can't do that. Oh yes, I know they're trying to take over government buildings, but come on, Poland, you can't go and attack them. And then we're just going to purposefully weaken them until Russia is able to take some sort of a hold. Like, I don't really think the whole, oh, Russia would be really stupid to do this argument holds water in a situation where Russia has made some really stupid decisions for Russia itself that have still resulted in the deaths of a lot of people. Yeah, we are being politically destabilized as we speak. So I would love if we kind of, we're all a bit more aware of the danger here and didn't really dismiss it as something not too important. I would kind of be happy with that. It reminds me, I've seen someone make a comment these days, someone from Ukraine, on like, there was a comment, I think someone from USA made a comment, one of USA politicians, that like, we are already winning. And the idea was, we are already winning, because, hey, look, Ukraine didn't get destroyed, right? Like, we're winning because Russia attacked Ukraine, and Ukraine didn't get destroyed. And we all thought it was gonna get destroyed in 3 days, and it didn't. So because of that, haha, guys, we're already victors. No. Like, no, that's not enough. That's not a fucking victory. No. What you have is an ongoing war. How can you see an ongoing war on an ally state which is being invaded right now? How can you see that as a victory? Ending this war would be a victory, I could see that. Like, the war is ongoing and you're going around flexing with like, guys, we did so well. What? It's continuing, come on. Russian psychological subversion. I do feel like a lot of that is because it seems media is genuinely, like, I'm trying not to be too, oh, MSM is the enemy, but it genuinely seems like there's not enough reports over certain actions Russians have taken. Specifically, like, now they are discovering that Russian disinformation played a huge part in the whole campaign against Biden, claiming Biden's corruption in Ukraine, stuff like that. A lot of that was literally just only and solely Russian misinformation. They are currently investigating that as we speak. There's a lot of American names there, so like if you care a lot about USA, you can look into that yourself. Personally, I'm kind of waiting for Dylan to talk about it. I'm waiting to be awake when he does a stream, because I'm expecting he's gonna explain it in a lot more detailed terms than, I could care about USA to do. But it's getting covered on basically no media. Basically no one's talking about this. A huge operation of Russia in the middle of USA information space, and it just happened. They're not saying anything. It just happened. I don't know. A weird little thing, isn't it? When you ask what do you think about I'm really important? Because I kind of like that dude. I've been watching him for like 2 days. But he's really, really cool. He's really, really, really cool, genuinely. Really fun to watch. Russian White was bullied by Antanta and lost. They was applying old shit and not much real things. Oh, damn. A little update on that artillery shell story. Hey, I saved that. Denmark is going to help, right? I saved that. What? Geo confirmed this information. Ukrainian drone operator dropping grenades on civilians in Donetsk. It's not in Donetsk city. It's 4 kilometers from front line. These are not civilians, they are soldiers. They wear weapons and or have red collar bands. And the footage is almost 1 year old. Great. Modern Warfare with Alex Jones. Great. How do you know someone's an absolute imbecile? Alex fucking Jones. Isn't he still being sued by parents of children who were killed in that school shooting in USA? Do you know the story? I think I saw something new recently about that court case. Also, it's like USA thing. It's very confusing for me to follow what USA does. Alex. Hot topics, people in the news. What happened? You made a video game and no one's playing it. Here it is. Sandy Hook. It was Sandy Hook. To collect 1.5 billion from Alex Jones, Sandy Hook families vote to liquidate assets. That was it. This was a few days ago, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, February 22nd, 2024. Oh, like today? I thought I saw it like yesterday. About right. In order to collect the 1.5 billion in defamation judgments, families of the victims of the massacre voted to liquidate the far-right conspiracy theorists' assets. Come on, like deserved. Every single second of this deserved. Oh yeah, half of USA lost cell phone service. I saw that. What do we think? Think it was a cyber attack? I would say yeah. Dylan interviewed him about it. He said he thinks Ukraine has no chance of winning unless they also do war crimes like Russia. Oh, that's an interesting take. That's an interesting take to give. Isn't that assuming that there's some sort of advantage that doing war crimes gives you, which I'm not really sure if I agree with that. Like, hey, you get no chance of winning unless you do war crimes. What do you mean? What sort of a war crime are you thinking of that actually gives you utility on the battlefield? Because I'm not sure. I'm not really sure there's something like that. There's definitely those that make it worse for you, for your side. But I don't really know if there's war crimes that like are utility and make you more likely to win. You were near Columbine? Oh shit. That must be traumatizing. Oh, that must be traumatizing. I'm so sorry. That must be horrible. Oof. USA has been on a roll with this recently. I saw. Oh, by the way, what's the news piece? Oh, I saw some newspapers recently having a horrible way to like title this post. But someone made like AI of. Did you say war crimes are not an advantage? I mean, yeah, they're war crimes that are actually giving you some sort of utility and making you getting you closer to victory. Because when I think of what Russian war crimes have been recently, I don't really think any of them give them utility. Saying that a country can't win unless it does something like this makes sense if something is a thing that actually gives them utility on the battlefield. I don't really think war crimes give you utility on the battlefield. So I don't really think that would make sense. But yeah, someone made AI with like kids who it was a video that also the parents of some of these children were involved in. Apparently not some of them were, but I didn't want to pay to bypass the paywall for a shit article, so I didn't read too much of it. But basically the debate was about whether or not AR-15 is a weapon of war or not. And it was weird. Like kids, AI of kids who died in these attacks. And then also they're saying stuff that like, oh yeah, you should vote for better gun regulation, which I do agree with, but just like using AI of dead kids to say that is kind of weird and kind of morbid, but then also people completely ignoring the fact that kids have died in these attacks, and instead of arguing about whether or not something is a weapon of war or not, and one of them is like, oh yeah, it is, because it was actually made to be a weapon of war, and then the other one is like, no, well, it was made to be a weapon of war, but it was never used in a war, so technically it is not a weapon of war. How much does it matter? How much does any of that matter? Like, you get school shootings regularly. Why are we talking about that? Americans will get more involved than just supplies. You got some positivity right there. I think they're going to hold back. I think they're going to hold back, and I think they're going to hold back for a long, long time. Time for better arms was last year, true? True. As long as I keep it in Ukraine, I don't expect we will send troops. I see that too. Yeah, I don't really think our allies are too proactive on this. If Russia cared about civilian lives, they wouldn't have gotten anywhere. They leveled cities just to advance a few kilometers. I could see that. I think the question is like, what sort of leveling cities as a war crime would benefit Ukraine enough to win this war? Russia fascists started to think about accepting Transnistria. Oh yeah, they're saying 28th of February, right? 28th of February, supposedly, Transnistria is supposed to ask Russia to join it. Personally, I think the fuckers are lying, and I think nothing's gonna happen on 28th of February. I kinda even think, you know what I think is going to happen? I think Putin's gonna do the same shit he did last year, around the anniversary of starting this invasion. Which he went and he killed a lot of civilians. A bunch of civilians, right? And I think this year he wants to do the same thing. And I think in big part the reason why he wants to do the same thing is because the election is coming, and you know, he did get Avdiivka, so he's kind of feeling quite good about himself right now. So he just needs to kill a few more Ukrainian civilians, so Russians will be fully happy. And this elections don't matter. Elections do not matter. You know what does matter? The fact he wants to mobilize a fuckload of people right after the elections. Because like once the elections are done, you know, we're done playing a democracy right now. I want to go and mobilize a shitload of people, and I need these people to think we're actually winning, and I need these people to have some sort of a hype about going into the military. So I'm gonna show them a bunch of dead Ukrainians. But I think that for this reason, he's starting this bullshit talk about Transnistria, partially because he knows that we're all going to be focusing on it, and then when it doesn't happen, we're just going to forget about it. It's one of those things, you know, he's going to be killing civilians, and we're all going to be like, oh shit, Putin's killing civilians. Should we react? Should we do something? Oh, wait, so we see what he does on 28th, because 28th is like the big day when Transnistria is supposed to ask to join. And then 28th is gonna come and go, and nothing's gonna happen, and we'll just let everything slide. I think nothing will really happen, to be completely honest. I think nothing will really happen about that shit. I think they're trying to stir some shit up to take attention away from him being a piece of crap. Also, no, I haven't seen that. What is this? Belitsky? Not only does he openly admit to forced deportations, but he also hints at executions.
Теперь, что касается спящих. Мы выселили большое количество семей. Это было очень непросто сделать.
Is Bolton Bankrupt gonna start a revolution in
Те, кто так или иначе
Transnistria?
не поддерживал СВО, те, кто оскорблял флаг, гимн России, президента Российской Федерации. Таких людей мы, пользуясь положением, которое у нас на тот момент было, пока мы не присоединились в юридическом плане к Российской Федерации, мы таких людей повыселяли семьями целыми. И выселяли, потому что мы понимали, что это люди, которых нам не переубедить, и с ними надо разбираться, придется еще жестче. Их жизнь может быть под большой угрозой, поэтому лучше пускай едут к себе в Бандерштат и уезжают туда, и там строят свой гей-мир.
Что вы имеете в виду, что их жизнь могла быть под угрозой?
Ну, их просто бы могли убить соседи. У нас, к сожалению, на первых этапах спецоперации были факты, когда
I also saved that.
люди
I saved, I think, a link to Medusa's article on this. I'm gonna show it to you.
Ситуации, когда
They're gonna teach kids
люди
using
занимали
Tucker's
чужие
interview with
дома,
Putin. They're gonna teach kids, guess what?
происходило мародерство.
Guess what the topic's gonna be?
С магазина у нас, это же в
Critical
интернете все есть.
thinking.
Поэтому мы давали им возможность уехать.
Critical
Кого-то
thinking.
принудительно выселяли, доводили до ленточки, зачитывали
Tucker sitting
решение
there like some dumb
о
fuck.
его выселении,
Putin
давали бутылку воды.
lying.
Но что делать с
Gonna show
женщиной,
that
с
to
тремя
kids, and they're
детьми,
gonna say,
у
hey,
которой
kids,
другое
this is
убеждение, но она не
critical
считает Россию своей
thinking.
родиной. Она не считает, что то, что происходит, правильно. Ну что, нам убивать?
Morons. The entire
Понятно,
country is
что мы их
morons.
просто вытесняем.
Эй,
Мы
я
их
героям слава.
зачитывали им наше решение коменданта. И
Yeah, having more
отправляли.
evidence is
Пусть
useful.
живут,
I'm
как
kind of
хотят.
hoping that more of this is being collected.
Ну как вы
The
думаете, если я с
recent
этими
hearing,
людьми еще вчера Новый год встречал? За одним
they
столом
held a
сидел.
hearing recently.
Я же вынужден был в
At
любом
the same
случае,
place, they
мы
had
же
a
все в
hearing
одном
for
городе
Nazi war
живем. Я
crimes.
знаю,
They
на
had a
этом округе
hearing
я
about
избираюсь
Russian war
98
crimes. That was
года.
kind of
Вот
karmic.
15 тысяч
But
человек, знаю, я так
yeah, a
недавно
lot of evidence is being
набрасывал.
collected
Примерно 15 тысяч
by
человек
Europeans
знаю
and
лично.
also by
Просто
USA
рукопожатие.
of
Я знаю
Ukrainian
учителей,
war
я занимался
crimes,
там
of
спортом, я там служил,
Ukrainians
там мои отцы,
suffering war
родители,
crimes at the hands
дедушки,
of
бабушки.
Russians,
Понимаете, это
instead of Russians
большая
kidnapping
семья, которая
Ukrainian children. So I'm
Мелитополе
really
долго
hoping
живет.
that
И
I'm
максимально
hoping.
лояльно
I know the
пытались
court cases don't
относиться
really go
к
anywhere, you
людям,
know.
которые,
I'm just
которых
hoping
мы
that they
знали,
collect
с
a
которыми мы
fuckload
жили,
of
для того,
evidence that
чтобы
becomes,
избежать
at least to some
несправедливости,
extent,
избежать лишней
available to the
крови.
public.
Все, что могли, делали. Но это не значит, что
Like
я
I hope
Толстой.
that
Я
we get
не Толстой.
journalists
Мы
and we
били и
get
били
politicians
жестко.
willing
И, к
to
сожалению, приходилось
very
принимать
openly
иногда
admit
крайне
to the
жесткие
truth of what's
решения,
going on.
о которых пока я рассказывать не буду.
Even Tucker fans must understand the Putin combo was trash. To be fair, I think if you're a Tucker fan, I think your level of intelligence is like quite negative. I don't know if they understand anything. I don't know if those people understand everything. I have seen the people on Twitter saying that the talk was amazing because Putin has a lot of historical knowledge and you wouldn't see a Western leader knowing that much history. I'm assuming those were Tucker fans. I feel like it takes a special level of not even just stupidity. I don't know if it's stupidity. It's like malice. It's like you pretend that this man is smart. You know this man is stupid. But you're willing to pretend he's smart because you just want to be against USA so much. So I think it's because of that. I mean, used to is one thing. If it was like in the way for a while, I used to think Elon Musk was cool when he was making those cool rockets. I think something like that is one thing, but like if you're a Tucker fan right now, that has to be like a 0 IQ decision. Man's an imbecile. He was an imbecile in the last... I don't even know when he exactly started going like fully off rails. But like definitely if someone's a Tucker fan now, that's not normal. Yeah, beautiful metro stations. Oh. Look at this bread. Just alternative historical knowledge. Yeah, it's a thing where like people who are going to praise Putin for his knowledge of history are mostly Tucker fans and like Trump fans, both of which are quite. They don't know what history is, right? Like you speak to these people, you could sell to them any sort of a historical lie, they would eat it up because they don't know shit. These people don't know crap. They fall for misinformation because there's like no knowledge in their head right now as we speak. It's just new information entering constantly, and they just fall for it at every single point. So I'm not really surprised that they think Putin is some sort of a history expert. I'm also surprised there's enough of them to actually make a difference. Not surprised, I want to say disappointed. Not just on a USA level, by the way. We've seen similar shit in Europe, so this isn't just a USA thing. It's weird those types of people are as numerous, as everyone else. It's weird. It's like, that video where the dude goes, democracy is power of the people, but the people are retarded. It's like that to full extent. These countries are trying to trigger the USA. They're still the strongest military in the world. I think they're not expecting USA to respond militarily to their provocations. In a way that, I think if an attack on USA happens, it's going to be an attack of misinformation at USA society itself. And I don't think military is really going to help in that sort of situation. I don't know if anything's going to help. If the first few thousands of war crimes evidence didn't prove useful, the next few thousands would not help much. Oh, I think that when we talk about the first few thousands of war crimes being useful, it's important to acknowledge from which position we are coming in. Right? Because, like, for example, the fact that there is an arrest warrant on Putin, I wouldn't say useful in like a real sort of a way, right? But it's recognition of what's going on. I am hoping such recognitions come faster. But it's something, right? Evidence is being collected. It's something's going on. In a relative way, it is useful. No, it's not useful. It's not strong enough to actually get us to act properly, but I think this is more them knowing there's war crimes going on and hoping that they can solve it by putting these people on a trial instead of having to go and bomb Moscow. Hey, Panther, hey, yo, Heroям Slava. USSR will destroy USA from within without firing a bullet. Yes, which is why I think it's quite stupid. Wait, let me try to find you the Medusa thing. But I think it was quite stupid, really stupid, genuinely stupid, when Russians made that calendar, and then that calendar, you remember calendar for 2024, and then as a part of the calendar there was like an image of the White House burning, and Russian soldiers staying in front of it, and Americans were making comments like, Russia thinks it can invade us over the sea? That would be really hard, they don't even have that many good ships, they wouldn't succeed. That's not what they think. Russians don't think that they're going to put their soldiers on ships and then go and then fight for USA soil. They think that they're going to be able to destabilize USA so much that when their soldiers come in, they won't even be fought against. They're going to see the doors wide open. They'll be able to walk in peacefully, relatively peacefully because it is Russians. But you know what I mean, right? There's not going to be a fight for USA, a physical war fight for USA if Russian soldiers march in. They're gonna march in rather easily. Trump himself is gonna let them in through the back door. Which, by the way, he did to Lavrov. Did you know he did it to Lavrov? He secretly let him into the White House. The reason why we learned about this is because Lavrov bragged about it. Not even Trump himself, Lavrov. Just like, all trash of the world collected in one place. War crimes? Yeah. Trying to set the right things in position so that Americans will welcome Russian soldiers with flowers. Basically, yeah, and it's working. It's working, you know, they're gonna come on their ship and they're gonna station the now Black Sea Fleet on USA shores, and they're gonna be like, hey, USA, we came here to help you get rid of the LGBT. And USA is gonna be like, yay! Like those Canadians, like those stupid ass Canadians that moved into Russia now. And now we don't know where they are or what's going on with them because, you know, it's gonna be the same thing. So I saw Lavrov there, but I wasn't sure. I was getting a drink when he walked down the hall. You were chilling there, and then you go, what's this horse doing inside a building? Oh shit, it's Lavrov. Who let him in? Even worse. Oh, it's not gonna be an invasion of America. It's not gonna be an invasion of America in a way you imagine it. The way you imagine like military marching in with guns and attacking. It's not gonna be that. It's not gonna be that shit. It's gonna be a soft transfer of power from USA to America. And USA is gonna allow it. USA is allowing it right now with, you know, Trump running around. Mariupol? Oh shit, true. Oh man, I remember those reports about Russians just destroying entire buildings, not taking the civilians out. Like, we don't even know how many bodies are going to be buried there forever, never to be found again. Horrible. Russian Navy is terrible. Otherwise, Canada could be in danger as well if Russophile Trump would be like that. Ah. Man, I wonder at which point would like Canada even be any sort of a priority. Canadian family? Reality TV, that would be interesting to see. That would be interesting to see. Would be fun to see them survive for that long. But yeah, hey, this is what someone mentioned about the Tucker's interview. Local Russian officials have instructed schools to use Tucker Carlson's interview with Putin for educational purposes. Yay! The interview is referred to as, listen to this, a valuable source of information for the education system, which can be useful for Russia's pedagogical community on a number of issues. It can be used for topics from history and social sciences to the development of critical thinking skills and media literacy. Which I could even maybe agree with if it was used to point to these people in the interview and go, hey kids, look at this. 2 idiots. Rip them apart. Write down every single mistake that Putin has said so far and write down every single way that this journalist has reacted to it. Let's analyze that. But the fact they're going to be looking at it and pretending as if it's valuable genuinely is just ridiculous. Germans are based. Russia invested 75 to 80% of their military spending into psychological subversion. Nice, that actually makes sense. Did Russians get to see Tucker's interview? It was mainly made for Russian audiences. It was mainly meant to be seen by Russians, but also yeah. But it was the target of the interview were Russians. Literally packing them with building debris into trucks. Yeah. They took down entire buildings with like people still inside them. Just ridiculous. Just horrible. Just heartbreaking, genuinely. Wait, let me Google the movie, because I have a prediction about the movie. Red Dawn. Is it going to be... It's going to be dealing with like a conventional invasion. Oh yes, Soviet paratroopers. See, that's the problem with the movie. That's the problem with you bringing up the movie, Red Dawn, for it, is that you're still caught on the idea of Russians invading USA conventionally. They're not going to invade conventionally. They're going to get Republicans on their side, which they already have most of the group. And the Republicans are just gonna allow Russians to walk them around like little bitches. That's going to be that. There's going to be nothing else. This isn't going to be a conventional invasion with soldiers. It's gonna be an attack from the inside. This isn't about a danger to USA, a military danger to USA, because we all know the USA will be able to defend itself militarily. No one's doubting that. This is going to be an informational attack on USA, which is already ongoing as we speak, and which USA is losing as we speak. USA is not really doing as well as, you know, I think Americans would like to believe. Wait. Civil war on Twitch before Russian invasion? Which civil war? Mariupol graveyard? Oh yeah, the newly dug one. Horrible. Horrible, just like, oh. It's a heartbreaking thing, my man. Russian agent provocateurs in the Polish protest? Yeah, like that. You know, like Poland is not getting invaded by actual military right now either, and yet you see Soviet flags being raised. That's the danger. The danger is not a military invasion. Mobile crematoriums, true. The thing with mobile crematoriums, they were real. The only question about mobile crematoriums really that was ever raised, and that I don't think anyone has ever been able to answer, is whose bodies are they supposed to be used for? Because at the start of this, it was like, oh, they're going to use them to cover up their war crimes, right? But then, you know what started happening then? Reports started coming in of Russian families knowing that their kids are dead and not getting the payout. Because you're supposed to get the cash after a kid dies fighting for Russia. And they didn't get it. They didn't get it because there's no body. And with no body, there's no evidence that your son has died fighting for Russia. And if there's no evidence your son has died fighting for Russia, you're not gonna get a payout. How do we know what happened to him? Maybe he just ran away somewhere. So, yeah, I do believe at least partially these are used to cover up actual Russian losses so they don't have to pay out anything to the families. And I'm saying this with zero empathy to the families themselves. Just think it says a lot about the situation. Yeah, cyber warfare, proxy warfare, true. Occasionally taking down US drones. That too, USA just allowed that. International waters. Their drone was allowed to be there. And what did USA do when it was shot down? Nothing. Just nothing. USA was concerned for a few minutes. That was cowardly. That was a cowardly response to a horrible action. USA and European Union are threatening to split apart. Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, USA military superiority is genuinely a great thing for USA allies. At the same time, I don't even know if it would be that bad if we split up. Only a kilo of fish and a sack of potatoes. We didn't even get the carrots to make a proper soup. The opinion of the residents in eastern Ukraine seems underrepresented in the media. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Residents of eastern Ukraine are under Russian occupation as we speak. There's been a lot of attempts to speak their mind, especially, I don't know if you remember, Elon Musk did that interview last year. Was it last year? Where he said that people in eastern Ukraine under Russian occupation actually are okay living under Russian occupation. He was like, yeah, they're okay. They're just like part of Russia right now. That's chill. And immediately what happened is people trapped in the east of Ukraine under Russian occupation started posting. And all over a sudden, you had people just posting images of Ukrainian flags everywhere. I saw a new one just today. A new Ukrainian flag has been painted on one of the walls there. We're talking about occupied regions. We're talking about parts of the country where you're gonna get murdered for doing shit like that. And they still do stuff like that. They still have the balls to be protesting against Russians and to tell them, no, you're not succeeding in your genocide. We're still here. We're still here, and we're still showing that we're here. And you know what happened then when people were responding to Elon Musk with this? What happened is no one really reported on it. No one really did shit. I saw a few pro-Ukraine medias covering it. That was that. That was that. No one paid attention. No one really paid attention because we love paying attention to dumb fucks like Musk saying some stupid shit. But when he gets a response from people actually in these areas, we just don't do crap. We're like, oh yeah, it doesn't matter. It wasn't a millionaire saying something, so who really pays attention? Locking people in a mental asylum would be kind of Trumpish, but I can understand that. Yeah. Oh yeah, Donbas Devushka. The woman who gave up Gonzalo Lira, by the way. It's kind of interesting to me that that is being a bit forgotten. But when her real identity was being uncovered, she was the one who cooperated, and she was the one who told people what Gonzalo Lira was doing. It was Sarah at the time posting a lot about it. It's like, oh, a big fish has been, we got a lot of information about a relatively big fish in the Russian disinformation space, and there's going to be an arrest made soon, and then an arrest on Gonzalo Lira was made. And Donbas Devushka still exists. She doesn't have the same Twitter anymore because, she was discovered to be lying. It's like DD Geopolitics right now, something like that. DD something. People that live in the conflict zones. They want to not be murdered by Russians. What do you mean? They want to not be... Have you not read what happens to people? Have you not read what Russians are doing to them? Have you all not seen what happened in cities? Have we not seen what happened in liberated places? The amount of mass graves being dug out? They want to not be killed by Russian forces. You can't do a proper interview with people who live in the occupation zones. Like, that was a whole interview. Who remembers the interview? That was from like last year. Where those two teenagers in Crimea said that they believe Ukraine's gonna win this war. And they both were arrested. You can't have people speaking their mind freely when they're being occupied by a shithole. It can't happen. They kill for less than that. Many who live there now are brainwashed and do like Russia because they believe what Russian TV tells them. I do believe, to be fair, I do believe that they do have some collaborators, and I also do believe that a lot of Russians have been moved in, because I think we've also seen them running from Crimea when it was hit the first few times. But also, you can't have a serious conversation when it comes to interviewing people from these areas. Of course, they can't give you the answers. There's soldiers everywhere. They're gonna kill them just for being the wrong ethnicity. Oh. But yeah, I think we know a lot opinions from people who are from Eastern Ukraine. We have a lot of opinions from people who had to escape Eastern Ukraine, and the opinion is that fuck Russia. Ooh.
Ramaswamy is a stock promoter, which basically means that he promotes stocks and then allegedly performs a so-called pump and dump scheme. Vivek bought a patent for an Alzheimer's drug that had already failed 4 trials and started raising money with it. Then he took the company public and cashed out. After this, the drug, of course, failed its 5th trial. The stock crashed and some investors, including a large public pension fund in California, lost a lot of money. But Vivek and his family made a fortune, so it's all fine and dandy. To maximize profit and minimize tax payments, Vivek's company was based in Bermuda. The man sure is a real American hero.
So the fuck you
This
have to,
Trump
the fuck you
fanboy
have
is
to, like,
Vivek Ramaswamy. He's a
get
wealthy
people out
guy,
of
but
there
how did he get so
secretly and then
rich? Let me
conceal
tell
their
you. Ramaswamy
identity
is a
in
stock
order for them to
promoter,
be
which
able to
basically
say
means that he promotes
what they
stocks
actually
and
think
then
about it. It
allegedly
tells you enough.
performs a so-called pump and dump scheme.
Like,
Vivek
it
bought
literally
a
tells you
patent
enough.
for an Alzheimer's drug that had already failed 4 trials and started raising money with it. Then he took the company public and cashed out. After this, the drug, of course, failed
LPR,
its 5th
DPR?
trial. The stock crashed and some
Supposed
investors,
governments? Yeah.
including a large public pension fund in California, lost a lot of money. But Vivek and his family made a fortune, so it's all fine and dandy. To maximize profit and minimize tax payments, Vivek's company was based in Bermuda. The man sure is a real American hero. This Trump fanboy is Vivek Ramaswamy. He's a wealthy guy, but how did he get so rich? Let me tell you. Ramaswamy is a stock promoter, which basically means that he promotes stocks and then allegedly performs a so-called pump and dump scheme.
If people refuse to join the military after their summons, they LJ them. Imagine what Ukrainians who refuse to fight with the Russians would face. Oh, definitely. What they are facing. What they are facing. And not just Ukrainians who refuse to fight with the Russians, but just Ukrainians who still exist as Ukrainians. Oh, what was the name of that Ukrainian writer for kids? I remember Victoria writing about him a lot. Victoria, another writer who was killed by Russians too. It's an incredibly sad story of one writer getting killed by Russians and then another writer writing about the first one being killed by Russians and she herself getting killed by Russians because the Russians are scum of the earth and they destroy everything good. But Victoria actually went and did a lot of interviews. He was found, I believe, when Izium was liberated. I'm not entirely sure. But she did a lot of interviews in the local area after this has happened to, learn as much as she can really about his story. And then she found his diary buried in the backyard. So she was able to also read it and she mentions a lot of it in her writings on him. But he was just Ukrainian, that was it. He didn't oppose. It's not like he was vocally opposing Russians. He was just Ukrainian. He was just existing as like Ukrainian. He didn't do a single bad thing. Right? Like it's not like he was trying to start a revolution against the occupiers or whatever. He was just living. Man was just that. Man. Conversations with people under scum like that, come on. Oh, if he tried something, yeah. But I don't blame him for not trying. Like, he was living with his parents. And, you know what happens to families under Russian occupation? Not families, you know what happens to entire cities under Russian occupation. We've seen what happened to Bucha. We've seen the mass graves uncovered. I'm not blaming him for not trying. He didn't choose to be in that situation. I do blame them for doing, crimes then. pro-Kyiv. Why wouldn't she be pro-Kyiv? Kyiv is supposed to win this war. Ukraine is going to win this war, of course. Vivek, demigod of Morrowind. Ooh. Vivek, the USA clown. I think he's not even, like, is he trying still to be the president, or did he drop out? I don't know if he dropped out. I know he was really loud and really stupid for a long time, and now he stopped being really loud and also stopped being really stupid, so I imagine he's not trying anymore. He pussied out. I think that's a good piece of news, isn't it? That's not right information. At least something good is going on. Pro-Russian, man. Look, we had that, alright? People who supported and collaborated with Serb invaders in our land. We had that too. We put them in prison. We liberated our lands and we put these people in prison, and a lot of them are still rotting in prison. Because you know what becomes rather obvious when the war is done and when you start investigations on crimes done in occupied lands? What you're gonna find out is that these collaborators either knew about these crimes and did nothing to stop them, or they were actively involved in these crimes themselves. None of them are innocent. Not a single person supporting the invaders was innocent. They either knew and turned a blind eye and allowed it to happen, just allowed the invaders to be killing their neighbors, or they were the ones killing their neighbors. So, yeah, I feel it's gonna be very similar once, Ukraine gets to liberate their territories and has to deal with people who stayed there to be supportive of invaders at the time. There's gonna be lots of investigations going on and a lot of war crimes uncovered by people who, shared the place of living with their victims. That's what happened. Most of them won't even feel bad. That's true. No, what's sadder, most of them won't even end up suffering for it. Like, we have a lot of them still rotting in jail, genuinely. We also have quite a lot who tried to get some sort of a deal with the courts to not end up in jail, and they didn't. They didn't. They, made a deal. They went to Hague and they talked about, oh, there were Serbs doing this and this and this. I was helping in this way. But Serbs were doing the bad stuff. Yeah. I was just aiding them. I was just on the side. I was just giving them information. And then they were let go. So, yeah, lots of interesting things are going to be happening once the area is liberated. I did not dumpily bombast enough, true. Do LPR, DPR think they are the real government and that they are standing up to the evil CIA Maidan people? To be fair, the CIA bullshit, I feel, has been a relatively, how to say that? I think it's misinformation, targeted at the Westerners. I think that when it came to Russian misinformation targeting Russians and Ukrainians, it was nationalist, Nazi-funded coup. It was the Nazis trying to kick out the good Russians. It wasn't really CIA funding. Haven't seen too many writings, even about Nuland, at the time it has happened. It seemed like no one really gave a shit, and then, Westerners started entering the conversation, and suddenly we needed to make USA the enemy of everything. But I don't think LPR or DPR are deluded to think they are the real government. I think they know. They know they're not real governments. One good way to acknowledge that they know is if you look into the history of people in these governments. Luckily, a lot of them have gotten exploded, so there's a lot of information on everything that happened in their lives because they became a big story in the media after they were exploded. So a lot of information came out to the surface. But a lot of them were just basic, worthless criminal scum before Russia invaded even. They were just criminals. And then Russia invaded and they were like, oh, damn. Russia is invading. I'm gonna collaborate. They had, yeah, it was mostly Russian nationals. It was some local collaborators too. It was local collaborators, and when I say local collaborators, I mean criminal scum. Every single one of them. Like you can just go through it, through the list of people involved. Who's that one with like horrible haircut? The one who got exploded years ago. Fuck, I have to find his stupid useless name. Or it's good that he's forgotten, maybe. But you look into him and it's like, oh yeah, from a young age he was a criminal. Oh, not Girkin. Girkin, unfortunately, still hasn't gotten exploded. Girkin, unfortunately, is still, able to live. Pushilin? Let me see. I know the... Oh, I'm not even thinking of that one. Who am I thinking of? What is his stupid name? But basically, you look into his biography and it's like, oh, he started his career as a criminal by being a criminal, and then he kept on being a criminal later while he was, a criminal, and the Russians invaded, and then he was a criminal working for Russians. And then he got a high-ranking position in either like LPR or DPR. But it's story of almost every single one of them. Piece of crap gets into the position of government. They don't think they are LPR, DPR government. They don't think they actually represent the people. They know very well what they are doing. What was his name? Fuck, wait, I found him. Zakharchenko. Alexander Zakharchenko. That's the one I was thinking of. Zakharchenko. He was the head of DPR, and then he got exploded in 2018. I was thinking of that one. So the invasion started happening in 2014, right after Maidan. This man joins militant organization in 2010. He joins a militant pro-Russian militant organization in Kharkiv in 2010. 4 years previously, a pro-Russian militant organization held by some Zulin dude? Russian separatist from Kharkiv, known for his involvement in leading the Titushki during Euromaidan, trying to form Kharkiv People's Republic. Which is another delusion of a state that never existed and, of course, never was able to be formed, because the entire idea of it is based in stupidity, right? But that's what I'm talking to you about. Like, you look into every single one of them, you're gonna find that they are scum, and you're gonna find scum that they are affiliated with. It's either going to be Russian scum, or it's even gonna be scum from the side of Ukraine. Because you're going to have collaborators. In every single war, you're going to have collaborators, and they should be rotting. Wait, Rutte? What was the Rutte conversation? I wanna see the Rutte conversation. Kind of piece of shit who makes the poor poorer and enriches the rich, in hope he will be rewarded with fancy jobs later in his life. Ew. Didn't someone's daughter get in a bad car crash? Are you talking about, what's his name? Dugin. Dugin's daughter got exploded. Yes. Description, like he was head of DPR and then he exploded. It doesn't narrow it down a lot. Okay, proper. Yeah, Dugin's daughter exploded. We still don't know who was to be blamed for that, to be fair. So that was a cool story, though. He tried to use her funeral to talk about Russian propaganda, but at the time, no one really gave a shit about her anymore. Peter Pavel would put NATO in order. True. I would trust him. I would trust him. I would trust that man, definitely. Wait, I wanted to click on some links. Seeing something on Girkin. Germany sucking off Russia for decades. Based. True. True. Girkin sentenced to 4 years in Russian prison on extremism charges. Oh, yeah, look at him. Look, he knows he's going to be allowed to live for like 4 years. So, it's something. It's something, isn't it? Inciting extremism. A charge he denied. I wonder which clips of him they used to show he incited extremism. Like, I would show the clips of him saying that Ukraine must be nuked. But I'm pretty sure when they were talking about extremism on the courts, they didn't really think about him, saying Ukraine should be nuked. They had some different issues with his words. Also, look at this. Russian woman sentenced to 27 years over exposed military blogger. What was his name? What is his name? Tatarsky. Hey, Tatarsky. That's the woman who killed Tatarsky. She brought him a golden statue of himself. So technically he blew himself up. Anti-Russian politician. Yeah, we do need the most anti-Russian politician as the NATO chief, which is why I hope to see someone from Eastern Europe to be there. And we're actually getting Rutte. Kaya, yeah, I don't know. There were lots of conversations about Kaya possibly getting the position. I don't know if she was ever really going to run for it. I think people have mostly mentioned her as a possible candidate. Yeah, I'm not happy about Rutte. I don't know how I feel about him. He feels soft. He feels like Schultz. He feels like some... Biden does stuff with like, we're gonna be supporting Ukraine, her, and then he actually has chances to be supporting Ukraine and he's not doing it. I feel that's gonna be Rutte. He's gonna be talking a lot, and I don't know if he's gonna be doing a lot. That's what worries me. But yeah, we'll see how he's dealing with it. He knows every leader in the world. He's perfect for the position. Oh, I do see in diplomatic ways he might be amazing for the role. And for the strength of NATO itself, he might be amazing for the role. My priority is kind of just like how much he's willing to help Ukraine defeat Russia. And I don't really know if he doesn't strike me as aggressive enough. He doesn't strike me as aggressive enough. I would hope, but he's only talking and meeting foreign leaders and member leaders. Yeah, but like, is he willing to be hawkish on Russia while he's doing that? Because their personal views do play a role in how they do political conversations, right? And I feel having someone really invested in helping Ukraine would be, of course, much more useful for us than someone who's just going to be like keeping up the strong, good relations, but without actually ensuring Ukraine gets more weapons, for example. That's my worry over this. It's like, I'm sure he's getting lots of support. He seems serious enough. I'm not worried about his abilities as a politician. I'm worried about his abilities as a person supposed to defend against Russian invasion. If NATO chief has to be an ass kisser, then Rutte might be a right person for the job. Yeah, see, I don't know if I want an ass kisser for the job, or if I would rather have someone really hawkish. Someone mentioned Boris Johnson somewhere. I agree with that. I want a fucking Boris Johnson in leadership. I want goddamn Boris Johnson to be there and to be like, hey guys, let's go. Let's just go. Let's go blow them up. Moscow burning right now as we speak. Moscow up in flames. What Moscow? How's Moscow doing? What Moscow? There's no Moscow. It's not a thing. It's not a city. It doesn't exist. It's gone. Rubble itself. You know, I want that. I want something like that. And I don't really want someone to be like, oh, diplomacy, conversations. We gotta give a chance to Russians to explain themselves. I want him to be hawkish. I want him to be hawkish and aggressive and almost warmongering. Giga manager. I want to have a strong, hawkish giga manager. Nukes flying? I don't think there's gonna be nukes flying. I don't think Russia would be willing to see itself wiped out for this. So yeah, if you get some yapping clown. I think it depends on how much action comes with his words. Could see that. It depends on how much action comes with it. You're gonna hate him. Hey, look, I'm already kinda... disappointed in the dealings of international organizations when it comes to this. So, I'm kinda expecting to hate everyone. Half of NATO members would not want a hawk, but more a diplomat. Yeah, I feel that's what got us into this war, you know what I mean? I feel that's what got us into this situation in the first place, is that we try to do diplomacy with Russia. Instead of just like, the second they march into a country close to them, we evaporate their soldiers on the spot. I feel that would have been a much better approach than what we are doing. We're trying to have conversations and we're giving them that time to like explain the reasoning, and then the reasoning is always just eating shit. But still we give them time to explain their reasoning, so they eat shit again, and then we do nothing to really help our allies. Yeah, I feel half NATO members wanting a diplomat is exactly the problem. So I'm not too happy about that. Only thing Greta did great was abolishing some big corporate tax. Wait, that's a good thing? Some big corporate tax. Why is that a good thing? What result did it have? Even if you have a hawk as not a secretary general, I don't think it will lead to hawkish actions. Since he has no direct power, could be that too. Could be that too. Like leaders of countries themselves might be having similar influence without the position, but they also have influence on how other countries are reacting to this, right? Scholz too. Scholz is trying. Scholz is trying. He's attempting. Huh? Oh, April 3rd. They're giving me shit. I hope there was something new. I hope someone else got exploded. For a second, I was happy. By the way, have you seen this? Nobody would take Kalas serious. Yeah, that is my worry. That is my worry. I think already they're not taking her too seriously, and I think if she was leading NATO, yeah, like you're definitely, I feel correct on this. Aggressively wagged his finger when Russia shot that airliner down with 200 Dutch citizens. Oh, oh damn! I'm deeply concerned. Deeply concerned, Russia. Bullshit. This bullshit. Pro-Kremlin military blogger, pro-Kremlin by the way, dies days after reporting massive Russian losses in Avdiivka. Did we see that? Apparently he shot himself. Murs, ultra-nationalist commentator, vocal supporter of Russia's war in Ukraine, he said Moscow lost around 60 16,000 soldiers, 300 armored vehicles to try and get Avdiivka. And then he was getting bullied. Now, he specifically blamed Solovyov for this. He said Solovyov was bullying him into deleting the post where he stated these were the real numbers of losses. So he deleted the post that he wrote on this, and then he killed himself. That's basically the whole story. He deleted the post and then he killed himself. Or, you know, who knows? It's Russia, you never know. And, you know, people willing to talk badly about government actions die. You never know whose responsibility it is. But yeah, I thought it was interesting. It was a pro-Putin one. I thought it was interesting that he's kind of keeping closer control on bloggers who are on his side too. Before 22, even the Baltic states were filled with Russian money, exports and people. Let's not act like pre-22 world can be compared to today. That too valid. Russian spies caught around Rutesholm were only escorted to the airplane to go back to their country. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. One would think if foreign agents would put a prime minister in danger, these agents would face jail. Maybe facing jail in Russia. They come back home and they're like, Comrade Putin, I have failed my task. And Putin just jails them. Sends them to fucking Siberia. Liz Truss. Huh? The woman who got outlasted by a salad endorses Trump by claiming West is doomed. Wait, I'm showing it in the wrong browser. Liz Truss endorses Trump. The salad woman? West needs a conservative in the White House, able to take on the deep rot of the deep state. Truss, who asked you? She blamed the deep state for her downfall as a prime minister. Truss. Wasn't she the prime minister for like 3 minutes? Deep state. Bro, the deep state didn't even learn the prime minister change and this woman was already out. Unnamed figures and bodies sabotaged her efforts to cut taxes, reduce the size of government, and restore democratic accountability. Catastrophic mini-budget sent the pound into a nosedive and sparked a crash in the markets. She claimed left-wing elites will be aided and abetted by our enemies in China, Iran and Russia. Hey, at least she knows who the enemies are. At least she knows who the enemies are. Now, she's kind of stupid for supporting Trump, knowing who the enemies are, but it's something. It's, yeah, it's like, our enemies in China, Iran and Russia. Vote for Trump. A man who admitted to being directly paid by the enemies of USA. Vote Trump. Vote Trump. Surely he's gonna fix this. Why does she hate deep state? Nice map prop. It's like, have you seen Trump comparing himself to Navalny? Tory's gonna get slaughtered. How's the other side on Ukraine? How's the other side going? First thing Trump would do is travel to Russia and ban them immediately. They wouldn't even call him to do it. Putin wouldn't even fucking invite him in, you know? Trump would just like win, run straight to Russia. Hey yo. Oh damn. Keir Starmer supports Ukraine publicly. Nice. Liz Truss went to say hello to the Queen, and 2 days later she was dead. Oh yes, that too, the conspiracies about her killing the Queen. Oh, that was fun though. That was fun. That was, I think, the best part of her being the Prime Minister. And people mocking. She did something. What did she do? I don't even know what she did. She like did an awkward little move when the Queen came in or whatever. I don't really know the British royal standards. But that was funny. That was funny. I like, you know, bullying people in high positions in politics so they know they have a lot of cash. I feel it's always morally correct. He's still alive for that. Oh, he thinks he's like Navalny because he did a lot of crimes, and because of these crimes he's going to be put in prison, and he thinks this is exactly the same as Navalny being executed for being against Putin. Same thing, my dude. I wouldn't even be able to tell the difference. When I tell you, hey, think about the man. Think about a man, all right? Who's a sex pest, right? Currently on court for multiple fucking crimes, having to pay millions of dollars for this. Which sex pest are you thinking about? If I tell you that like you have a choice between like Trump and Navalny, which one are you thinking of? You don't even know. They're basically the same person, aren't they? I don't even know where he dragged up. And you know what's my favorite thing about his stupid ass comparison of himself to Navalny? It's the fact that when he says that he is being unfairly attacked by the government, because of which he is going to go in jail, he's acknowledging that the government is doing something unconstitutional to him, right? And by putting him on this court and by putting him in jail. By comparing himself to Navalny, he's basically saying that people using the power against him are wrong. But then he supports Putin. I don't really think you can be supporting Putin if you also compare yourself to the victim of Putin. It doesn't really make too much sense, you know what I mean? It's not really a connected worldview. Unfortunately, USA has this little thing with their journalists being less of journalists and more of just like a decoration in a room. That's what it felt like, because she didn't even ask. She didn't even go like, how can you then support Putin? You know, like if you're Navalny, why are you a Putin supporter? How does that like exist in your mind? She didn't even ask. She was just sitting there. She was like some nice little lump there in a room, and she's just existing around. What's that? It's like journalism, but completely dumbed down. Both Putin and Trump are misogynist as well. Oh, didn't know about Putin too much, but I wouldn't be surprised. Contradicts himself for the 1 millionth time. Are we stupid? Surprised? But you know what's kind of making me salty though? Like if Biden did that shit, people would be around going like, Biden has dementia. Biden make no sense. Biden has dementia. Biden go to dementia again. Old man, go take a nap. And it's like, you know, Trump's been saying stupid shit for such a long time that I don't even know if we're like used to it or whatever. We just didn't call him out enough for his stupid shit. If Biden said something like that, my man. Trump talked about Orban as a great European leader. Yeah, of Turkey. Again, if like Biden did that, we would be seeing a bunch of people making posts about like Biden being, you know, million of years old, a living fossil of a person, the literal missing link. Oh, holy crap. And he's just doing alright. Erdogan will call Trump the former president of Mexico. I feel Erdogan should do that on purpose. Just to see. Trump's too much of an asshole. He does have a lot of support, doesn't he? He has a lot of support. He seems to be having a fan club, and a strong fan club too. I'm kind of worried about that. I'm worried about how many people are supporting the man, basically. I don't know. Talking about Navalny though, where did I have the clip? My Opera browser keeps on being like, yeah, we're helping you save some like browser space. So when you click off a tab, we pause it, we don't load it anymore, and then it just causes chaos. Have you seen Solovyev threatening Navalnaya?
Ну, вот все понятно. Слишком выгодная смерть этого берлинского пациента в день открытия Мюнхенской конференции. Через 2 дня после посещения его адвокатами в колонии. Единственный, кто является выгодоприобретателями от такой смерти, это Запад. Здесь он никому не интересен, не нужен. Вообще ушел.
Navalny killed now, so we might watch that to see why was he killed now.
Надо было оживить, надо было как-то встряхнуть, перебить фантастический эффект от интервью руководителя нашей страны Такеру Карлсону. Надо было отвлечь внимание от всего. А главное, прямо открыть Мюнхенской конференции. Там находится его жена, там находится вся эта вечная свора бездарных неудачников, потерявших родину и предавших ее.
And then he got arrested for being
И
depressed
вот
on his
прям
dreams.
такой им подарок.
You're sad when you talk about Russian successes
Для
on the
нас важно,
battlefield.
что...
You go to jail for 4 years.
Ну да, понятно, о покойных либо хорошо, либо правду. А правда простая.
Can I just tell you that like Skade's stream right now is bitching about Ukraine winning Eurovision. They're bitching about Ukraine winning Eurovision. Non-political decision at all. So yeah, just like I'm salty about the Eurovision topic. When was that again? 2022. 2022, Ukraine sent a great song to Eurovision, an incredible song to Eurovision, and it won Eurovision deservingly. And it got people to be bitching about like it being a political decision. But like, who really fucking cares in the first place? Who really cares? It's an international competition. Of course it's gonna be very political in nature. Who the fuck cares, my dude? Who's bothered by it? Imagine being bothered. But like the fact conversations about this are going now, even though like last year everyone was hating on Ukraine before Eurovision even started, and then Ukraine didn't win Eurovision, and then people were like, huh? Oh yeah, we never hated in the first place. What are you talking about? We never were salty about this topic in the first place. No. We just had mature conversations about the political nature of Eurovision. We weren't hating at all. And now they're starting to hate again. It's a stupid thing. Like no matter what sort of a result they get, they're gonna get hated on. And then if they get a good result, they're gonna get hated on even more. Hi. What's Bosnia doing? Bosnian military used by Ukrainians? Nah. Bosnian mortar shells? Pretis Vogošća? Nice. Yeah, he had a villa. He had a villa in Italy that was taken away. He was very depressed then. He was depressed then. That was fun to watch. My man was bitching. Oh, that was good. Yeah, I had a villa and they took my villa away. Artillery Santa. Bosnian Artillery Santa. A Bosnian one, alright? Mi Bosanci. Bosnian. Ours. Solovyev doesn't believe in bullshit he's spreading. Simonyan seems far more dangerous. Seems to believe in what she spreads. To be fair, this is like a completely new idea in my mind of like making a list of how much harmful these people are. In my head, it's like there's a pile of crap. And is there really a point to go through this pile of crap to find which piece of crap smells more? I don't really feel it is. They're all just shit. It's just crap. Every single one of them. None of them is normal. Oh, the cheese. Oh, the cheese. What's going on with the cheese girl? What's the cheese girl doing? What's her name? Oh, I haven't seen her in a while. Olga Skabayeva, right? What's she doing? Where is she? Did she get exploded? I haven't heard about it. Shitterino Simonian. Professional West hater. Oh, TV Rain. 1 year ago, 1 year ago, 1 year ago. Yeah, what's she doing? Still stinks around here and there. It's weird, I haven't seen her, speak in a while. Both of them have no idea how forgotten they will be when the war is over. Oh, I hope they will not be forgotten. I hope they're gonna both rot in prison as like genocide supporters and propagandists. She's repeating the same points. Makes sense. Oh, Balkan nerd. A Balkan nerd having some interesting opinions. Oh, I like Balkan people. Yeah, Simonian is sometimes really, really orange, true. Sometimes she really doesn't like clown makeup. It could be because she's trying to look like Trump. Maybe they use like the same foundation. It's already happening. Key is for NATO to assist in ramping up production and transportation because Bosnia and Herzegovina could easily be providing Ukraine with 1,000 shells per day. Bosnia? I need to save this. Bosnia? Oh, I hope that's gonna work. Wait, how many do they even need?
Israel
How many do we think they need? Wait, what is that? Is that related? What is that? What is that? What is that? I'm getting it. A debate? Why Piers Morgan? Wait, what's the debate about? What's the debate about? We haven't really watched a lot of Israel-Palestine content, to be completely honest. Haven't really watched a lot of content on it. How much are people interested in what's going on? They will be deposed after they reach their expiration date. Yeah. I'm kind of wondering if they're gonna be, gotten rid of by Russia itself. Since they don't really seem to be too helpful. Sometimes, like, directly detrimental
Вот вы тут правильно говорите по поводу того, что мы там у них снаряды все кончаются, никак не кончится. Вот 27 числа было 120 лет, как война с Японией началась, да? И вот там то же самое, во всех плакаты, там карикатуры, газеты бульварные, везде говорят, все, Япония сейчас заканчивается, у них там ничего нет. И даже карикатуры там были. Штурм Порт-Мане, там не Порт-Артур, а Порт-Мане, там, их, где они там типа ходят по миру и собирают деньги. Закончилось это для России не очень хорошо. Вот мы тоже в этой иллюзии впадать не надо. Нам историю надо эту помнить, и это очень важно для нас. Вот, соответственно, у них пока хватает. Да, может меньше, может не так. Но сказать, что мы там уже под Киевом, пока что нет возможности. Соответственно, как-то они справляются с этим делом. И еще раз говорю, все решается, знаете, на поле боя в данном случае.
Главная победа на фронте из последнего, что стало известно, совсем небольшой крошечный населенный пункт, Там даже не село, не деревня, Табаевка
Very
называется.
small, tiny town.
Российская армия освободила, кому интересно, можно почитать в интернете, там до начала спецоперации проживало совсем мало людей, то есть даже не тысячами, не сотнями, десятками, 64 человека. Это просто к тому, чтобы объяснить, насколько тяжело идет продвижение, и разговоры о том, что на Украине закончилось все оружие, техника, люди, это, конечно, неправда.
Да.
Вернемся.
Look, if this is the last time she was yapping, it was 3 weeks ago and she said something bad about Russia. I'm just saying, keep your hopes high. When Eurovision was taking place, one of my Russian friends started spamming me with messages at 6 in the morning. What? Ew, you have Russian friends. But like, what the hell? 6 in the morning hating on you? Oh, what the hell? Oh, what the 6 in the morning. Last year, you know what happened last year? When Ukrainians were having their performance, they didn't even win. But they were having their performance, and at the time when they were having the performance, Russia was shelling the home place of the singers. Like, was it intentional? Was it accidental that they chose to try and kill a bunch of civilians exactly there? I don't know. I don't know if, like, that amount of information was ever disclosed. But it was a weird fucking thing that they were hitting exactly their homes while they were doing their performance at the Eurovision. That was really fucking weird, alright? I don't know if in 2002 they had like similar types of symbolic war crimes. But yeah, I do remember them bitching about Ukraine winning so much, and then bitching about it being political, and bitching about how people voted to support Ukraine, but not because the song is actually great, which, you know, what's bad about that too? It was so stupid. It was genuinely so stupid. Olga Mozzarella. Be constantly drunk at work without being fired. True. Oh, true. It's like basically normal. If you come to work sober, they're like, huh? Did you forget it's a work day today? Did you think it was like weekend or something? What are you doing here? Get some vodka. You're being way too coherent. It's time to turn the frozen Russian assets into currency for Ukraine. I wish. We're just not really too hyped about doing that shit yet. I don't even know why. We're not doing it, and I'm very, very pissed off about that in a way. Wait, what did I want to show you, dude? What did I want to show you? And no. Didn't I have USA? I had the parliament. We have pussies for leaders. What do you mean pussies for leaders? Look, European Parliament made a 59-second video on how 58-second video on how they have been supporting Ukraine.
Parliament led calls for Ukraine to get
pussies.
EU
Every
candidate
single one of their
status and pushed
achievements
for
can be
membership
put into
discussions to
58
begin.
seconds.
As people across Europe opened their doors to Ukrainians, Parliament supported measures to help 4 million refugees and the EU countries that welcomed them.
1 billion of Russian
Time and again,
frozen
members backed sending
assets.
Ukraine the defence equipment it needs.
Give us all of them, but nice.
Parliament
Thank you,
also acted
Belgium.
for a
You are my
brighter
best
future for
friend.
Ukrainians,
You are the
supporting
peacekeeper.
help
You
to
are the
rebuild their
legend.
homeland.
2 million to make
And it
holy
backed
shit.
unprecedented EU sanctions
Wait,
against Russia.
I want to go
aimed
into
at
video
thwarting
editing
Moscow's
now.
aggression. Parliament demanded Russia be held
One
accountable.
person's job being done by 2 people.
Europeans
Oh, to be honest, I
overwhelmingly
don't even
support
know.
Ukraine. Your vote
I
in the
have
European
no
elections
idea.
this
I
June
have no idea
decides
about that
how
part
the
of the
EU
culture.
will tackle this
Where
and
is my
other
Russian
global
experts in
challenges.
chat? Shit on Russia. How many people do they hire for jobs? How many Russians does it take to change a light bulb? At least 100. Debates, if it's on something relevant, then we do. But like usually I try to find stuff relevant to the topic in the stream. And if it's something out of the blue, then it's like, you know, do we want to be switching the topic? Do we not want to be switching the topic? I don't know if we want to be switching the topic. Yeah, but like foreign policy when it comes to Israel and Palestine, which is a lot different topic than the conversation about foreign policy regarding Ukraine. Money editors make during election year? Really? I wish I could be doing that. I wish I could be doing that. Topic is fuck Russia. Yeah, it's very often the topic. I tried to present it in a nice way. Okay, I tried to be like, yeah, we're talking about foreign policy here. We stream on foreign policy. Do we? I guess technically fucking Russia is a foreign policy view. But yeah. Listen, I have this strong belief that Twitch politics should be cut into niches. I feel we should be cutting niches around, so you could go to a specific streamer to have a specific conversation. And what I like talking about here is, yeah, definitely Ukraine, definitely hating on Russia, and also what's going on in European Union, how European Union is reacting to some things. So then when it comes to, debates, especially if it's debates regarding something related to USA, but also something like Israel-Palestine, for example, it's not really too much of a topic of focus for me personally. I feel if you want to explore that topic, a stream like Destinies might be really, really good for you, for example. Stretch the European Union logo. That's the superior one, the superior one. Most debaters on Twitch are bait fight actors. That's too. That's also a problem with debates, the fact that they put two positions on an equal level and they shouldn't be put on an equal level. So yeah, absolutely. Balkan is a supremacy. Thank you, Russia, for introducing me to Wiki. Thank you, Ukraine, you mean, for introducing me to Wiki. Ish, Russia. Serbia is budget Russia. I feel like Russia is budget Russia. And then Serbia is like a smaller pocket version of that. Yeah. Like how west can it be? Who the hell knows? Debate on Navalny's death. You wanna watch a debate on Navalny's death?
Colleagues,
see, this is a relevant debate. Testimonies, that's not the same thing as a debate.
Today, according to Memorial, the
No chaos opinions brought out. No Irish fuckers. Where's the Irish fuckers? I was expecting to see them here. I was like, ooh, damn. I wonder what they're gonna say. Oh, you know what they would say. I already have it. All regimes have to kill their people to keep on functioning. This is exactly what we are doing here in Europe. We may not be killing people by putting them in prison and then executing them out, or like torturing them to death, depending on what Navalny died from. We may not be killing people by doing that, but we do kill people by influencing them with capitalism. We brought capitalism into this world, and capitalism kills the poor, and in the same way Russia kills the political dissidents. We are the same evil as Russia is. I already see that homeless looking guy being like, we must stop capitalism. The fuckers made a video where he cried about Navalny dying. Damn! Oh, that would be interesting. That would actually be interesting to see. I don't know his opinions on Navalny too much. Almost as sleepers as UN ones. Oh, UN debates must be boring as shit. Hassan, hey, what does Hassan think about Navalny dying? What does the Hassan think? What was his opinion? Who's the Luffy in this scenario, Hassan? Who's the Luffy? really? Nice. Had an interview with dude that claimed people in Eastern Ukraine don't care if they live in Ukraine or Russian pollution. Высовывается попыт Навальный во всей Man, that's a cool idea, man. Uh-oh. People in Eastern Ukraine don't care if they live in Ukraine or Russia. You know, in one of these situations, they are surrounded by mass graves of their own people, and it's only under one country. Authorities showed her Navalny's body, demanded his funeral be a secret one. Wait. In my presence, they receive orders either from Kremlin or from Central Office of Investigative Committee. They want it to be done secretly without a farewell. They want to bring me to the outskirts of the cemetery, to a freshly dug grave, and say, here is where your son lies. The investigator told her, time works not in your favor, corpses decay. Shit. His death certificate says he died of natural causes. Shit, my man.
Только что я вышла из здания Следственного комитета города Салехарда. Почти сутки я провела там одна, наедине со следователями и криминалистами. Адвоката они пустили только сегодня после обеда. Вчера же вечером они тайно отвезли меня в морг, где показали Алексея. Следователи утверждают, что у них известна причина смерти, у них готовы все медицинские и юридические документы, которые я видела, а медицинское свидетельство о смерти я подписывала. По закону они должны мне сразу были отдать тело Алексея, но они не сделали это до сих пор. Вместо этого они шантажируют меня, ставят мне условия, где, когда и как должен быть похоронен Алексей. Это незаконно. При мне им приходят приказы то ли из Кремля, то ли из Центрального аппарата Следственного комитета. Они хотят, чтобы это было сделано тайно, без прощания. Они хотят привести меня на окраину кладбища, к свежей могиле и сказать, вот здесь лежит ваш сын. Я на это не согласна. Я хочу, чтобы и у вас, кому Алексей дорог, для кого его смерть стала личной трагедией, была возможность с ним проститься. Я записываю этот ролик, потому что они начали мне угрожать. Глядя мне в глаза, они говорят, что если я не соглашусь на тайные похороны, они что-то сделают с телом моего сына. Следователь Воропаев открыто мне сказал, время работает не на вас, труп разлагается. Я не хочу особых условий. Я лишь хочу, чтобы все было сделано по закону. Я требую отдать мне тело сына немедленно.
Man, all right, that's interesting. Didn't even refrigerators. Man, what do we think? I'm actually kind of interested. It's a stupid thing, isn't it? It's like a blind thing. It's an idiot thing almost from me. But I'm kind of interested in how this new little wave of Russian opposition is going to be behaving. They're interesting to me. There's something new happening, I think. Not really new. More so, I think Navalnaya is doing an interesting thing with the way she's communicating with the people so far. I'm kinda almost into following this. And I don't really want to be, because it's going to end the same way it ended, all the previous times, with opposition just betraying everyone and not doing shit and falling behind Putin again. Like, I know where it's gonna end. I kind of, part of me really wants to be following this. Putin flew in a new Russian Tu-160M strategic bomber aircraft. Peskov commented Putin did not need to have a medical examination before this flight. Afterwards, he continued the show by driving a truck. He attempts to present himself as young and energetic before the elections. Ah.
Техника отличная. Она действительно нового поколения. Как я сказал командиру судна, сейчас еще раз скажу, руководству Министерства обороны, конечно, можно принимать в состав вооруженных сил. Мы получаем новую...
I wanted to see him driving. Why even bother? So he can mobilize people. It's not for the elections themselves. It's because after the elections he wants to mobilize. Was it like 400,000 or something? He wants to mobilize people. That's the plan. So he has to announce a decision like that while the people are relatively happy about the situation, right? So he got rid of Navalny. He seems like a strong leader now because he got rid of Navalny. He got Avdiivka, which definitely is a little plus. He's been sending drones into Ukraine for days now, trying to get some civilians murdered. So, you know, Russians are going to be hyped right now. Russians are going to be hyped. They open their newspapers in the morning. They see that like 10 Ukrainian civilians have been killed overnight. Oh, they start celebrating right there. And this is good for Putin, because then the elections come, and no matter how Russians vote, right, they're happy. They're probably not going to even go out to vote. But no matter how the Russians are going to vote, after the elections, Putin's like, hey guys, you gave me 97% of support again. Thank you so much, guys. And everyone's like, yeah, all right, we've been happy for the last few days. He did get that much. That is true, that is true. I can believe lots of people wanted for things to remain this good and happy. And then he goes, I want to mobilize 400,000 of your sons. And in return, you're gonna get 1 potato each. And then people go, yeah, all right. Things have been really happy recently. We can deal with this one little thing. We can do that. And then they're going to allow it. And then 400,000 Russians are going to be trained for, what is it, few hours at best? And then they're going to be sent back. The Russians think Putin arranged for Navalny's death, and that makes them more supportive. Yes, I think Russians, the majority of Russians, like having a dictator, absolutely. I think the amount of Russians who do not support Putin and who do not want a dictator in power is definitely in the minority in the country. Yes, I think they see a strong leader when they see someone eliminating the opposition. Absolutely. I think they see Navalny as a man who has been creating trouble in Russia and creating unrest in Russia. And now that he is gone, they see a chance to actually, you know, have some sort of peace and quiet in their own country. Half potato extra. Oh, that's two. If we take like 2 sons from the same family, you could be getting extras. I'm gonna write that into a law. 1 son per family, 1 potato. 2 sons per family, 3 potato. Oh. Vote for Putin. Vote for Putin quickly. 1 out of 5 Russians will see the death of Navalny as it is, but they won't dare to cause a ruckus. I would also say that these 1 out of 5 are not Moscovian Russians. We're talking about Republic's peoples. We're not talking about like Moscows, we're not talking about St. Petersburg people. They're in these 4 out of 5 who are seeing the death of Navalny as Putin eliminating the troublemakers in the country. They're seeing it as something okay. So, yeah, that's basically that. Oh, did I copy that? Did I copy this? Did I copy this? Ah. I wish the links in chat would like go blue when you click on them. Key ingredient for Russian soup, really? Really? I mean, look, they could also be getting vodka. Now that I think about it, I feel that would be a bit more helpful in the long run. We're joking about the potatoes. Ah. I have like no idea, but I have some ideas about the traditional food of Russia. But I feel at this point, there has been a lot of memes about like Ukrainian cuisine and then also Georgian cuisine, right, from Neifa Fellas. And I don't know what of that is like shared with Russia and what isn't really. Like I have food in my mind that just, does Russia eat it? Or is it like not Russian? I've got no idea. It's a good thing though. I'm not telling you this for you to try and fix it. It's a good thing. I want to be it's like the anti-imperialist thing. I like forget about Russia almost intentionally. They already launched at least 24 ballistic missiles at Ukraine made by North Korea. 24. Zaporozhye, Kyiv, Kharkiv, other cities and villages. In total, they killed 14 civilians, wounded 70 others. Rob, Altai or Chechen soup stolen by Russians? Yeah, that's true. That's true, to be fair. Aha. Hey, Berlin? Berlin doing an event with Ukrainian authors? Berlin?
What does it tell us? Not about Russians, but about ourselves. That oftentimes we see the Western people, the foreign people,
Hey, yo!
through the prism.
Cultural enrichment. Hey, yo, nice! Oh, that's cute, that's cute. They claimed borscht as a Russian dish. Yeah, and they also claim the dances. Yeah, definitely. They just claim everything that they like, don't they? Putin pointed to a certain decline in the birth rate in Tatarstan region and Russia in general, starting since 2019, and reasoned it with the high quality of life in Russia. This process is not related to people's religious affiliation or geography. It's related to many factors, to lifestyle and level of well-being. Along with the growth of prosperity and income, other value attitudes emerge. Education, post-education, gaining some additional knowledge. The birth of a child is postponed, and Tatarstan is no exception. It's not connected with any special events in the world, in our country.
С 2019 года по сегодняшний день в Татарстане наблюдается определенное снижение рождаемости.
Wait, but which was the region of Russia that is supposed to have a big growth of population in the next years? Which one was it? Do you know which one they predicted is going to have a big growth soon? Fuck, which one did I see? Was it Bashkortostan? Milk. Are you okay? Are you having srachka? Not connected with any special events. Putin, egg prices in Russia soared because people got richer and started eating better. Soon Russians will live even better, as the Russian Poultry Union promised eggs would not get cheaper despite all the promises from the authorities and import of eggs from abroad. Imported eggs will not help. At the declared amounts, they will not play any role in pricing and will not bring a positive effect. Purchase prices for eggs from Turkey and Azerbaijan are currently set not lower than for the products of our producers. At the end of last year, eggs rose in price by almost 60% in Russia. They topped the list of the most expensive food products in the basket. Wait, how expensive are they?
Вовремя просто не сориентировались, просто объем-то производства у нас не уменьшился.
потребление увеличилось.
Oh,
В связи
the
с
production has not decreased.
с реальным, с
Consumption
реальными
has
располагаемыми доходами
increased,
населения.
actually.
Немножко, но
Because
все-таки
people are
доходы
so
чуть-чуть
rich.
у людей выросли. Вот. Начали больше приобретать яйцо, мясо, курица. А вовремя о том, чтобы открыть импорт, не подумали. Бум, и цены полетели. Поэтому нужно быть очень аккуратными. Но в целом вы абсолютно правы. Обязательно проработать. Ладно? По яйцу, видите, у нас что произошло.
Oh, cute. That's great. That is great. That's lovely. I wonder what's the price, because I remember reading one time when you remember that time. Hey, Transnistria. Ooh. When Putin had some sort of a speech, and then they allowed people to like send text messages, and then their text messages would be shown in the back. And I remember at the time people writing about the prices of cucumbers and potatoes. And they both were more expensive than they are here in Croatia, which is an interesting thing, really, because the paychecks in Croatia are quite higher. So, you know, it's like their standard must be sad. Their standard must be sad. Transnistrian Congress will ask Moscow to annex Transnistria to Russia. The so-called MPs of all levels of Transnistria are going to adopt a request to Moscow regarding the accession of the separatist region to the Russian Federation. Meeting will take place one day before the address of Putin to the Federal Assembly. Transnistria opposition does not rule out that this directive to organize the Congress comes from Moscow itself. And then the next day, February 29th, Putin will announce this request to the Assembly Federal, which will decide to proceed with the request. Opponent believes Assembly and the protest organized against the so-called economic pressures of the Republic of Moldova are aimed at showing that the residents of Transnistria are against Chisinau. This is where the recent statement of the Russian Foreign Minister Lavrov comes from, that Moscow will not let its citizens in Transnistria suffer. He called on the so-called MPs of the region to prevent the adoption of this decision, which would give Putin a legitimate excuse to strike the territory of the Republic of Moldova under any pretext. Wasn't there panic for a while? I don't think Russia is going to invade Moldova, by the way. People are talking about invading Moldova. They're not going to invade Moldova. But wasn't there panic for a while about the amount of Russian weapons and ammunition stashed in Transnistria and how they could possibly use this to basically attack Ukraine from the other side? Should we be worried about that? Should we be worried about something like that? I don't think Russia is going to invade, though. I don't think there's danger of Russia invading. I do think there might be danger of Transnistria behaving like its own country. EPP, what news about EPP? Nope. Saw EPP post in in support of Ukraine. They formed a right-wing coalition. Oh wait. Copy link. Wrong browser. Paste and go. Von der Leyen won't rule out working with right-wing parties. Oh damn. I won't rule it out. Coward. She would be open to working with some politicians in the European Conservatives and Reformist grouping. More right-wing than her own centre party, albeit on her terms. Oh, that's what everyone says. You start working with fascists and you're like, yeah, but I'm controlling them. I'm not like working with them, you know? I'm just listening to their opinions and then I mellow them down. And then, you know, you reach the American situation. Cut-off line is, do you stand for democracy? Do you defend our values? Are you very firm in the rule of law? Are you supporting Ukraine? And are you fighting against Putin's attempt to weaken and divide Europe? And these answers have to be very clear. I feel this one and this one are vague. This one is vague in a way that if you're a populist government, you're gonna say yes, but the answer is gonna be no. This one is vague in a way that you say our values, someone goes, what are our values? Can you properly describe, are you gonna say democracy again? Like what values? How would you be defending them? Again, goes into populism. Being very firm in the rule of law, I see that maybe. Supporting Ukraine, definitely important question. I'm very happy she mentioned that one. Are you fighting against Putin's attempt to weaken and divide Europe? Also very good to present both Ukraine as an ally and Putin as an enemy. So positively surprised by the last two. Not too happy about these. Yeah, it does seem like it's giving her a very vague way to work with the right-wingers. Big issues in Croatia right now. We have corruption scandals going on. So I think it's that. I think it's most of that. We have big corruption scandals at the moment. Do we have any other issues, DB? To be honest, I think Croatia is doing well. We got a clown for a president. That's kind of an issue. But I think we're doing okay. I was just talking about that to one customer today. I was talking to one dude about this because like there was a woman at the checkout and she was bitching about how the pensions are really low. And this queen of a dude, he goes, right, you're bitching about pensions, but like you just bought a whole carton. She bought a carton of Kinder eggs for her grandchildren. You know those like Kinder eggs? Relatively expensive. Like, be real with me. When was the time when you were a kid and you got like 5 of these for yourself from the same grandmother? Because she does have like, I think it's 6 grandkids. So she bought these so they would have a snack, right? 5 of them for each grandkid. When I was a kid, you would get 1 of them. Maybe. Which you would get with the shit ones from Serbia. Now, on her tiny little pension, she buys like a fucking carton of them? My man. So he pointed that out. He's like, yeah, you just put a fucking carton of these things because your grandchildren are visiting. Like, what are you bitching about? And she goes, and she just leaves, you know? And he had this whole monologue that I actually agree with. I agree with his monologue. About how like we love to be bitching, but we have a restaurant nearby and the restaurant is always filled and there's always people drinking coffee and they don't feel like cooking, so they go to this restaurant to get like, you know, food there because they don't feel like cooking lunch. Like, come on, the situation's rather good monetarily. We're doing well. It's not like, you know, we're crumbling apart as a country, and we're talking about old people with like normal pensions here. We have enough. They're doing okay. Could it be better? Definitely. And it should be a lot better. And a lot better should be demanded. But like, we're not doing horribly, let's be real. We're doing okay. I feel we're doing okay. Do you even have a semaphore? Actually, no, we don't. We don't have that. We do have a restaurant, so that's that. No, not a single semaphore. I didn't even think about that until you asked. No, we didn't have it. Kinder eggs are illegal in USA. Yeah, good thing. Kinder eggs are illegal, but AR-15s are allowed. Priorities. you gotta have your values. So that's right. Inside of the Serbian Kinder eggs, it was just like plastic shit, but like stupid plastic shit. Just stupid plastic shit. You didn't even get the cool ones. I would get very cool ones sometimes in Croatian Kinder eggs. Oh, I just bought the Kinder egg. We're having new Kinder eggs Harry Potter ones, you could be getting like a Funko Pop toy in them. I just bought 3. And the reason I bought 3 specifically is because when they came in like a huge carton. And I was like, So I put them on a scale. And 3 of them were heavier than the other ones for like 2 grams. And I was like, so I grabbed them. And now I'm going to see what I got. But yeah, you know, like we were good. We're doing good when it comes to cash money. We're doing fine. I don't really think we're doing as horribly as we like to be bitching about it, you know? Like we like to be pretending to be having a tougher time than we have. We're not really that bad. It could be better and it should be better, but it's not horrible. It's not like we're in one of those, you know, horrible countries where, you know, everyone's fucking poor. Like, think of USA. Did you know how many people in USA work full time and still have to live on food stamps? Full fucking time work. We don't get that. We don't have that. You work full time here, you will have enough. You won't be living on fucking food stamps. So I genuinely think we're doing alright. I think we're doing alright. But yeah, talking about Serbian Kinder Eggs, there was a thing for a while. It wasn't Kinder Eggs, it was those flips. You know those flips? Bobby flips. Like these things, but it was... Oh, it's this sort. It's this sort. So this sort is supposed to be like puffy, and it doesn't have as many... It's not like it doesn't have any spices or anything. It doesn't have a taste. You know, they're like pale looking and they're kind of sad and boring. Yeah, corn shit, yeah. So what we had was these with a toy inside. And at one point, my cousin in Serbia, like, he's a little kid, and he opens these, and for a toy, he got an ice scraper, but it was like a piece of plastic. There was like a handle, plastic handle, right? And then there's an actual ice scraping part. It was like a knife, basically. It was a fucking knife. You could cut yourself on that shit. And they just put it in like these little bobbies specifically meant to be given to kids. Because these are like the kids ones. You know? And I remember the time like he pulled it out and he's like, what is this? And we were like, ha ha ha, what is that? What is that? Show that to me. And my relative does is this sharp? Oh, it is. And we had to hide it then. So yeah, that's what we got in the Serbian one. Worst lows, but also highest highs. Yeah, I feel that's kind of bad. If by highest highs you mean like very, very rich people, I feel like that's also kind of sad. I feel that's also very, very sad, you know? It's because you don't do taxing properly. You should be taxing your rich people more. Rich people and also corporations. Because I've seen a stat recently that like some of the companies, when it comes to these people working full-time and then living on food stamps, a lot of them are working for Amazon, for example. And Amazon doesn't really have to pay taxes. Amazon's chilling. Why is Amazon not properly taxed? It's an interesting little thing, the way that like USA does things. But also I assume from the USA perspective it makes sense. And maybe it's, you know, for you people it's weird how we do things. But like paying taxes and then having healthcare for it. And then getting minimum wage and living from that. Toy knife for Serbian children, Muslims not included. That would be fun if they had it like nationalities based. Bobby flips for Serbs specifically. And then like you have to show your ID when you're buying it for your kids so they know you're buying a proper one. That would be cool. I would support that. I would support that sort of ethnicity based discrimination happening in supermarkets, genuinely. I'm not even lying about this. But wait, where was I before I was here? Because I wanted to click on something. Oh, here it is, European Union populism. Cause it's 8:18. Cause it's 8:18. It's a culture issue. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. Like even if you had more, it's not necessarily a budget issue, right? It's like with things like helping the homeless and stuff like that. It's not like there isn't enough in budget for it. It's just that the priorities are set differently. So certain things are more important than the other ones. So I understand that. Drunk neighbor had a long con. What was it on about Russia? We were talking about right-wing populism in European Union. That's what we were talking about. The Eurosceptic populists should top the polls in 9 European Union countries. How worried are we? Far-right surge could allow a coalition of Christian Democrats, Conservatives, and the radical far-right to piece together a majority and steer European Union policy for the first time, which is of course very, very concerning, because sorry to USA people for using USA as an example, but I think we've kind of seen what happens when Conservatives get too much power in their hands, and I wouldn't really allow them to be leading the government. Likely to oppose ambitious European Union action to tackle climate change and slam the brakes on the bloc's green transition. European Commission and Council of the European Union's ability to make foreign policy decisions, such as to support Ukraine, could also be undermined as the national debate shifts to embrace more Eurosceptic views after the elections. We know it's because corporations and the wealthy have influence on politics to lower their effective taxes, but yeah, a good percentage also think it's not bad for the middle class. Oh, that too. I feel that kind of sucks, to be honest. Extremists of either side shouldn't be in charge. True. I just feel like we're currently dealing with a world in which it's like specifically the extremists from the far right that are having the position to lead. I feel like the left, as much as they do be having extremists, they're not really having a chance at winning, are they? No one likes them. I'm pretty sure leftists don't like them. I don't know who likes the left extremists. Left likes to do this thing, especially if we talk about the USA influence left. Online influence left likes to do this little thing of like virtue signaling itself to death. And so I feel like whenever a new face would pop up in the leftist circles to try and get some sort of power, I feel it would be struck down by a lot of other leftists. I don't feel they would be as supportive of each other. Like even if you look at the Irish fuckers, for example, who are, I would call them the extremists of the left, right? But like the Irish fuckers themselves are seeing a lot of criticism from the left-wingers because the Irish fuckers support a lot of authoritarian regimes, which goes quite strongly against leftist values themselves. Hey, we violated community guidelines. Which community guidelines? Do we talk badly about Russians?
Друзья, привет. Как всегда, сгоревший и опухший Дмитрий, или, как пишут в комментариях Чупа-Чупс, Медведев, после очередного взятия Финляндии, воздуха в грудь набрал поглубже.
Дмитрий overslept. I need help me. Irish leftists are called left because they're left out. Base leftists like Slava. What's Zizek's views on Ukraine?
И сразу сразил всех наповал. По крайней мере, как минимум отсели от него подальше.
Где остановиться?
Need to find English. Need to find English. But also, what's Zizek's view on Ukraine? Is he like, give weapons? Or is he just like chilling? What's his, wait, let me try to see it. Did he even comment on this? Did he comment on Russia? But also, listen,
Hello, my friends, and welcome.
Talking about Zizek, I feel he's based in a philosopher way, which is very similar to being based in a politician way, with the difference that when politicians are based, they say a lot of things and they pretend they're going to do a lot of shit, but they rarely do this shit that they are promising, right? So they're based in their words, but their actions are nothing. But they promise these actions. I feel like philosophers do this thing where they're like based in their words, but their actions are not even promised. They don't really do much. They're just gonna exist. My man's existing. He's based in Ukraine though. That's great. That's great.
Back and happy Thursday to you. One more day, only one more day to go until Friday, and then it's
hear that
party
man was
in
sometimes
USA.
positively
I was with the
nostalgic.
Protest Foundation,
In
who
a
are
wholesome way,
responsible
to
for
be fair, in a
making
wholesome way.
prosthetics for
I
Ukrainian
just was always
troops in
worried a little bit
America
about
who have
his
lost their limbs
views.
and arms or legs. They're flown into USA. They're giving the prosthetic. They're trained, and then they're sent back. And I played some accordion to them, and I want to enjoy it with you to make your day a bit better. Check this out. So this is Hej Sokole, a Polish version, but of course there's a Ukrainian version. Did you think that's the only song we played? No, we played for a long time. Check this out. Bidmanova, very good Ukrainian song. We sang a lot of them. I played a lot of accordion on my Northern American trip. It was so much fun. My friends, now we begin with serious topics on Ukrainian war. As you remember in my previous video, yesterday's video, Ukraine struck Russian troops
It's the way I've seen it.
point
Yeah, I
in the
do.
next region.
Wait, by the way, I wanted to read your message and then I got distracted by Arthur. Sorry, I love Arthur very much. But the thing of like tribalism, anyone with alternative ideas, not of any tribe, is lumped in with their opposition. Yeah, definitely. I don't even think it's just a USA issue. I just think that we kind of mostly see USA people doing it because we like focusing a lot on USA. But yeah, I've definitely seen stuff like that. Even now, it's interesting when you follow people talking about the elections in USA. It's an interesting situation unfolding. I literally know a dude who rage baits on threads because every once in a while he like sometimes somewhere in the post he's gonna mention that Biden is quite old, and it's just like a part of the post, you know, but he mentions his age and immediately there's like a bunch of people in the comments being like, how dare you mention that, how dare you mention that, why are you saying that he's old, you know, Trump is also old, why are you mentioning he's old? Like, he didn't even, you know, I mean, Biden's kind of fucking old. But he didn't mention it in a way to be like, go vote for Trump instead. No, he's just, like, talking about Biden in usually a good way. Like, why are we being so fucking defensive? Why are we trying to just fight everyone? It's a weird little thing. US inflation was less than most other places. That USA was dealing relatively okay, I feel, with the situation.
On the videos, which I couldn't show, and they were in the description below.
Like it was shit time for everyone, wasn't it?
You could already count 65 KIA all piled up in one place. Cannot show it at all, but supposedly there are even 200 KIAs.
At least Biden didn't run away
like you could see the clusters of men down running around, and kaboom, demilitarized, knocked out cold. Now this happened again. It happened in Donetsk, right? But now it happened in southern Ukraine, in Oleshki Sands.
Yeah, but like Biden is the best they have.
You see, this is Kherson and this is Oleshki. And all across Oleshki there are these sand dunes or sandy places. I don't know, sandy fields, however you call them. I'll take a risk here and show you some footage. Not the explosion, only the footage before the explosion. As you can see, men are here, men are here. Here are 4 dudes walking, and here are about, 20 lads just standing on the sand. You can see a lot of the guys just standing around here. Oh, like this is 15, 20 kilometers from the front line, and guys are lining up on an open field like that. Training grounds before charging on Klinki. That's what it is, actually. This is right before the HIMARS hit them, and we're talking about HIMARS, we're talking about one shot, one HIMARS missile with 180,000 small tungsten balls that go pew, 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 across and through everything. Especially they love the occupiers, so they will make these guys into red mist, and I cannot show it to you. Here we have right before they gathered, we can see a long line of dudes. I'm telling you, all of these guys, all of these occupiers were sent to meet with their maker, were knocked out cold, were sent to sleep with the fishes, were sent 6 feet
likes saying
under,
they want to sleep with the fishes.
sent to push up some You get the point. They're all gone. I can just show you the moments
Argentina?
before. That's
Oh
it.
yeah,
Nothing
how's
else.
our
About
little
60
anarchist
Russian
doing?
soldiers were KIA on this
How's our
one.
little
It's the
anarchist
second
boy
one in
doing?
2 days. My friends, Ukrainians have pulled out of Avdiivka and Russians have now fully...
Can I tell you a story? There's a man at my work. One day he brought our tabloid newspapers called 24 24 hours. Tabloid newspapers. At the last side of the tabloid newspapers, there's a headline. I think I mentioned this to you. There's a headline. It says, "My Croat never gets tired." And it's Milei's wife. Talking in one part of this article, she talks about how Milei is partially Croat. He's partially Croatian. I don't know if you knew this. And then in the other part of this article, she talks about how, despite the fact that he is the leader of his country right now on a really important position, he is still able to have lots of sex. So this man who buys these newspapers, he's like, "Who's this man?" And I give him the updates on Milei. I'm like, "Yeah, that's the anarchist. That's the anarchist, and he's there in Argentina, and he's leading the country now. They chose him." And he's like, yeah, all right, cool. And for a while, he has been coming to me to ask me about updates, and I've been, trying to keep track on Milei just because of that. He hasn't asked in a while, though. I forgot to keep track of the dude. I don't know what he's doing right now. I've got no damn idea what's happening with that man. I hope he's doing alright. I hope the country is doing alright. 260.
occupied it with
Was it
enormous
at like
losses. But
500
what are
before,
they
so
doing
it's
in
farming?
Avdiivka? Why was that settlement so important to them? Well, we have an answer to that question
He's trying his
because
best.
TikTok.
Trying to reach 420. Hey, yo, anarchy.
Russians in Avdiivka. Что делаем, блядь? What are we doing here? What's the goal? They have found a washing machine. I mean, Avdiivka is fully destroyed. We have all seen the drone footage, but they have still managed to find the washing machine. 2 years later, they're still looting for washing machines. Putin, can't you just guide your country in a way that people can afford washing machines? Is that so difficult? Look, new washing machine, Ooga Booga, what?
New washing machine.
Let's get it to Russia, which is what, 1,000 kilo. These guys, wherever they're from, Buryatia or any other ethnic minority in Russia, because if they're not an ethnic minority, then they possibly might have a washing machine. If they're an ethnic minority,
If
they're
you're
about
like in the
1,000
center of Moscow,
kilometers from their
possibly, and
home.
you
So
also
how
have
are
those cool
these
shopping
Ooga
carts
Boogas
where you
going to
put a
get
coin
this
in.
washing machine 1,000 kilometers from Avdiivka to Russia? What's the plan? I don't know.
But only
They're
possibly.
going to carry it, of course. Ivan must think. Carry washing machine. Very smart. Carry it home to Buryatia. Ебать, блядь. My friends, now every time I try to make these videos, and my goal is to give you information, to keep you on the right side of history and to fight against Putin's narratives on this war. And what is Putin's victory? It is when people are tired, when people get emotionally distanced from this war because it's depressing. Now, my goal is the opposite. You watch this war and you get a little bit giggles. You get a little bit funnies out of it because otherwise there's no way to win. We gotta stay positive. We gotta keep the spirits
Thank you,
up.
Arthur.
But then I have to apologize for the next video. It's
I
a
was
bit
just
hard
talking. I was talking to my mother about this today, because I went to a friend's house recently, and he had one of those, those little like furnaces, but it was in the middle of like a huge room, and it was keeping the entire room warm. And I was like, that's a cool little furnace, because like we don't really have that. We have central heating, but we haven't installed those little furnaces anywhere. And she talked to me about how before the war started in Croatia, she was living with her mother and father still, but she built a part of the, it's like house continuation. She built an extra part of the house, basically, with her brothers, and that was her room, and in it she had one of these tiny furnaces, and she bought new couches. She was actually working at the time, and she just managed to pay off these couches fully, and then the war started, and the Serbs stole all of it. The Serbs took every single thing out of her room. When she returned, there was nothing there. Just fucking, you know, everything. Everything new, everything fresh, everything just brought in. And they just came in and they took it. It was like, you know, diamond fucking loot spot. Ridiculous. So I was very angry about that the whole day today. And then I see that and then I'm like double angry.
To watch, my friends, so let's
I'm
bear
double
through it
angry.
because I think it's a
Scan the
necessary
walls.
message.
Oh, shit.
And again,
They
before we
burnt
watch the
the
video, I do
museum
want to
here.
say thank you to every
They burnt down.
last
We had a
one of the
museum
allies
locally.
for Ukraine. This
Museum.
includes the United States. A lot of people
Yeah.
want to blame the US.
And there were lots of
I
wooden
don't.
things
I
in
want
the
to thank
museum.
the US for
And they were
having
cold.
done so much for Ukraine.
So
That's
they
it.
made a bonfire
No
and
blaming
just put it
game.
all there.
Putin wins from every blame.
Hey, thank
every
you for
finger
joining,
pointing
Slippers.
in the
Thank you
West.
for
Only
joining.
winner is Putin. So if you feel like you want to blame somebody in the West, don't. Let's focus on how we can make things better. Let's watch the video.
I'm ashamed to be a Westerner.
What are you talking about?
I'm ashamed to be a
Oh,
Westerner.
IRI?
I'm talking to Planet
The
Earth
dude
today.
with the song?
I'm talking to
dude
Western
with the
governments
song?
today. On
I've
behalf
seen,
of
like,
my commander-in-chief,
2 of his streams so
President
far, I think.
Volodymyr
He
Zelensky
seemed
of the
okay-ish.
sovereign, peaceful nation of Ukraine.
He seemed okay to
I'm
me.
absolutely ashamed to be a Westerner
But also,
today.
I'm like scared of chatting with people, so I haven't said anything
What in
yet.
God's name do you
I'm like
think
waiting
you
for an
people are
opportunity
doing,
where I can write a first
drip-feeding
chat
and delaying
that
this desperately
happens
needed
while there's
ammunition
lots of other people
for Ukraine?
spamming, so he doesn't
What are
see
you
the
trying
first
to
chat
achieve?
notification.
Do you not know that God
I've got
sees
social
everything that
anxiety
you
on
are
Twitch.
doing? Do you think there are 77 virgins in paradise waiting for you? There ain't, mate. There ain't.
Mate.
There is no paradise like that. Tens and tens and tens of thousands of civilians have been butchered and are being butchered in this genocide, and yet you people just dilly and dally and pussyfoot around. God help me, I'm ashamed to be a Westerner. I'll stop calling myself South African because that shitty government aligned themselves with Putin. Everybody in this country asks me where am I from, and I say I'm British. I'm talking to all Western governments today. I'm a medic in Ukraine, and we are shitting ourselves over here. The fucking front line is crumbling left, right, and center. How dare you dilly and dally like this?
Oh no.
Imagine these were your children being butchered out here. Put yourself in Ukrainian shoes for once.
Wait, IRI is streaming?
Get your act together, man. Your policies and your bullshit. Fucking support this country. We are being terminated, exterminated. I'm ashamed to be a Westerner.
Now this goes against what I usually show
that
on
was
this
great.
channel because
That was
my
strong.
goal here is not to traumatize, not to sow fear, not to make people depressed or sad, not to make them apathetic towards war. My goal is to give information and a good feeling because that's the only way we can support Ukraine. Now this video was hard to watch for me also. And all you see about me in these videos, I'm in Estonia. If Ukraine loses, I lose. I'm gonna be dead. That's the reality. I'm gonna be shot by the Russians. That's my future if Ukraine loses. So, and yet I'm here smiling at you and
I
doing
hit it
this.
stream
So
here. Ah shit, I didn't see
I
that.
agree with the message of this video. I don't agree with the delivering and the style of it because it makes people defensive. And it makes me also defensive. You have to defend against this bad
Comment
feeling.
about
So
emergency
I don't blame anybody,
yeah,
but just to illustrate
How are you connecting
the
that?
situation in Ukraine.
But also,
to
GG.
bear in mind not to blame the West, but to focus on getting better. The West needs time. They take time. Democratic nations in World War II and World War I, both instances took time and in the end won. This is the peculiarity of democracy. They take time, but when they get going, they're the most powerful force, military force, economic force in the world. So let's just focus and keep our focus on the right path, and let's not blame each other. Let's help each other. Now, my friends, a completely different topic. There's a Russian military blogger, a very famous Russian military blogger called Muris. After Avdiivka was occupied by the Russians, The losses were so enormous that Murs could not keep quiet.
Didn't we just talk about
officially
Hassan
made
saying
a
that?
public blog post.
Didn't
And
we
he's
just
a
talk
Russian
about
military
Hassan?
blogger that, if I'm not mistaken, has even met Putin.
And how he would
made
say
a
that exactly
public
if you ask him
blog
about
post after the
Navalny
capture
killing,
of Avdiivka,
about
the
Putin
Russians
killing
lost,
Navalny.
in his estimate, 17,000
Unrelated
KIA
question? Yeah, sure,
taking
absolutely.
that settlement. 70,000, and that's
Let me know.
Russian military blogger estimate. We're not talking about the wounded, casualties are missing. That's only KIAs. Now, this is the information that Russian propagandists have been advised by Putin to keep secret. No matter what, don't publish it. Because the losses are so damn big, it's unsustainable. Putin knows it, everybody knows it.
You mean the losses
This information
are so
cannot be publicized. Now, Murs published it, and you know what happened? He committed a suicide. Yesterday, he committed a suicide, he was found dead. I'm not sure how he did it, but I can only assume that he jumped out of the window
I don't believe in sinners.
shot himself in the back of the head 5 times.
I don't believe in sin
That's the only way
overall.
in Russia.
I don't think sin is
This
useful.
illustrates, what does it say to us? Why? Okay, he went against
nothing really. I think they're just trying to live.
You went against the rules of propaganda to publish their own losses, but if they kill their own military blogger for the fact that he published the true information about Russian losses, what does it say? It says that the situation is very dire for the Russians, otherwise they wouldn't care about publishing it. They cannot let the population see how much they're losing, how many men are dying.
Liars? No, why would they be?
Because they have a huge bluff to hold on. Their whole bluff is that we don't care about the losses. We can keep them coming, and the West will run out of steam. In reality, the Russians are also running out of steam, but they cannot show it. It's a big poker game. Putin is with the poker glasses, you know. And Murs just
I know.
bluff.
I saw
Murs
a
shot himself
report
in the
today,
head.
but I saw it from like Max or something. So don't take it too seriously, all right? I saw it from one of these like basically Western mill blogger accounts. But the idea, the numbers were that how was it? Russia is sending around 30,000 new people every month into fighting, but so far, according to numbers, it seems Ukraine is evaporating around 30,000 every month too. So it seems like when it comes to that, yeah, they're sustainable. They're sustainable for a while. I feel the desire to cross-dress like a woman, but I wouldn't because of Deuteronomy 22:5. I mean, if you place value in a book, that's your thing. If you place that much value in a book and it makes you happy, that's your thing. It's your values. Sustainable in terms of human resources, but not machines. Oh, so it's oh shit, sorry. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. I was looking at this from the position of like human lives losses, you know, but it wasn't about human lives at any point. It was about fucking vehicles. I mean that makes sense. It's just the priorities are cute. But yeah, when it comes to vehicles, I don't even know how many new vehicles they can make regularly. Navalny death. Russian losses in Avdiivka start to overwhelm right-wing politicians. Most Republicans are pro-Ukraine, but Trump is the reason for all this pressure on right-wing politicians, and maybe some Russian money. Oh, definitely some Russian money. Definitely some Russian money. Yeah. Some people saying they're appropriating women's gender. Yeah, you spend a lot of time around Twitter, people. You spend a lot of time around people who use Twitter a lot. That's the way I'm feeling. No person with a job would say that someone is appropriating women's gender, okay? That's something that some jobless fucking basement dweller is saying. That's some loser-ass opinion for someone who hasn't felt the touch of another human in at least 12 months. It's not a normal thing to say. Sustainable for Russia. Russia raised 16k people, but they traded for Ukraine's 110th Brigade offensive capacity. it's super worth it for them. Oh, so like for them it still helps. Could see that. Could see that. Didn't Putin openly say he preferred Biden over Trump? Putin's full of shit. Putin's absolutely full of shit. Whatever Putin says, he's lying. Every single thing Putin says, he's lying. He's absolutely. But also not true. His party, his own people, his influence directly points to trying to get Trump re-elected. Everything Russians are doing points to trying to get Trump re-elected. He doesn't prefer Biden over Trump. That's him eating shit. If you look at, like, even recently, I mean, it was just recently uncovered that misinformation about Biden's corruption was directly spread by Russian actors inside USA. Putin is directly trying to work against Biden and in favor of Trump. And so is every single agent under his rule. He knows what he is doing. He knows exactly who he supports. He can say shit out loud, but we can see what he does with his actions. I mean, we're talking about a man who, like, one day before he invaded Ukraine, he said he would never invade Ukraine. Yeah, now Putin says something. That's him eating shit. That's him eating shit, okay? Look at what his information services are doing. Putin speaks. You see a man eating shit right in front of you. Don't put any sort of value in that. Why would Putin prefer a weak leader over someone who is simping for him? It's like an Ethan fan saying he favors Bosch over Ethan. Who's Ethan? But understandable. And understandable. They will care when most of the party will speak up more because they want to get re-elected. I think it depends on how many Americans are aware of the danger of Russia and how many of them genuinely think that Russia isn't a good side. It doesn't matter who will be president. What matters, which part Russia will support in presidential elections. Trump. Russia supports Trump. Russia supports Trump very openly, very loudly. The reason Russia supports Trump is because Russians think Trump is an idiot. Russians think Trump is nothing more than a monkey willing to get down on his knees and suck them off. Russians know exactly who they're supporting and exactly why they're supporting him. There's nothing mysterious about this. If Trump gets out of the race, then it's going to be an interesting situation because I don't really know who will be replacing him. Like if Nikki gets there, I'm not sure how Russia would feel in that situation. I'm pretty sure they would try to get another January 6th, to be honest. But Russia fully, absolutely supports Trump. No question about that. Trump again kiss Putin's ass so many times, and people still think Biden is more favorable. Yeah, it's silly. It's silly. Like, it's almost like silly how it works though, because Putin says one lie, and people caught up to that one lie. More than years of Trump working directly with Russians. Man was doing secret meetings with fucking Lavrov. And we're supposed to be like, yeah, I guess Russians actually genuinely do prefer Democrats. The fuck are you saying? You know they don't. You know they don't give a shit. Turn into a female version of Ronald Reagan. Hey, you know what's the problem with Nikki? Nikki has the character of a bitch. Nikki has the character of a bitch. Nikki has no integrity within herself. Right? Nikki Haley, the woman who used to be fully supportive of Trump, now suddenly she remembered that Trump has been spitting on her husband, who's a veteran. Now she remembered it, but previously she was more than ready to clean his shoes while he's being the president. She's saying stuff that she thinks is going to get normal Republicans to vote for her. It's a smart strategy, but it's a problem because you don't know how much you can trust Nikki. As much as stuff she's saying right now is good, like, are you sure you want to trust her? Are you sure you want to trust her? She's gonna change her mind. She has changed her mind before. Changes her mind again, we're fucked. Oh, farmers' protest possibly influenced by Russian agents? Oh, shit. You got Ruskies? You got Ruskies? Oh. Oh. Wait, you talking about propaganda thing? Oh, I haven't read all of your comments, to be honest, so I don't know that. Margaret Thatcher? Yeah, but you know what? Margaret Thatcher had a character. Margaret Thatcher had a character. She knew what she wanted to step on, and she stepped on it. And if Nikki was that sort of a bitch, I would be supporting it. But when I say a bitch, I mean more of like as a coward of a person, rather than a rude boss of a woman. I mean a coward. I mean that if voters were like, Nikki, we're not really sure, we like this value of yours, I feel she would turn right around. Nikki would change her mind. Her voters would go like, Nikki, are you sure? Are you sure that you support the vets right now? Do we want to go to hating them? And she would be like, yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. I changed my mind right now. I changed my mind in a second. Like, it feels her integrity is very low. What? Didn't Trump not try to withhold weapons promised by Obama because Trump wanted Ukraine to come up with cooked stories about potential rivals? Oh, I've heard that theory. Haven't looked into that too much. Prefer a bitch over an origin idiot or an old coward? Depends if she is going to change her mind. Because my greatest fear, my greatest worry is that she's going to change her mind. She has no integrity. She's going to change her mind. Like, genuinely, she's going to, like, see that, I don't know, she's suddenly getting support of Trump voters too because, you know, she's a Republican. So they're going to be, like, better a Republican than a Democrat. So she's going to get an influx of new people voting for her who have different values. And then she's going to switch. I'm very, very worried about her switching, just like changing her values overnight. She seems to have done that previously already. I'm very worried about that. Currently, she's on the good side, and if she stays on the good track, that's definitely good. I'm just really worried that she wouldn't. Yeah. Spare mango for Russians, based. Unless Trump won't be able to run, yeah. I don't know how his court case influences his ability to run, to be honest. I'm not sure how that goes. Tried to stop aid already approved by Congress. Oh.
Back of the head for 5 times now, and then jumped out of the window, and then also wrote a suicide note. There's actually a note. The thing is, killing such military bloggers after such blog posts leaves a very bad stain on the Russian military, meaning they have a lot to hide. Now, on connected note, how many Russian men are right now in occupied Ukraine? According to GUR, the size of the Russian ground forces contingent amassed against Ukraine is 470,000 soldiers. So let's round it up, because it's, why not 500,000 soldiers? Half a million troops. Now, not all of them are in occupied Ukraine. Some of them are on Ukrainian northern border in Russia. Some of them are in occupied Crimea. But altogether, 500,000 troops. Most of them are in Donbass and in southern Ukraine and in Kherson Oblasts. In Kupiansk and Avdiivka alone, we get about 200,000 or more troops. These are the main axes of attack. The thing is, 500,000 troops. Russia started this invasion with close to 200,000 troops, and they started with 3 different axes, the whole country. This goes to show how big of a blunder it really was. Now they have 500,000 and they're still not able to really push. Avdiivka was 10 square kilometers or 4 square miles. It's nothing. It's a very, very small
Chat
area
being
and the front
chaotic.
lines are holding right now. They're not crumbling like the man said in the previous video. It's not the truth. Not the truth that I'm hearing on why I'm in Ukraine. Now, my friends, some good news, and we have been talking about F-16 for almost a year, but actually in the span of 4 to 5 months, these fighters will be in
When Ukraine
Ukraine.
gets
NATO
F-16s.
Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg said that when Ukraine receives F-16 fighter jets from its allies, it will have the right to self-defense, including striking
Ayo.
legitimate Russian military targets outside of Ukraine. Yes, I've been wanting to hear that for so long because the NATO country leaders, they gotta grow some balls and say that Ukraine can use our weapons for military targets in Russia.
Sea babies?
No country except for
Can we see how
Great
much we
Britain.
got for sea babies? Let's see how sea babies are going. Ukraine gonna hit. Ooh, you think Belgorod is shitting their pants right now? I think Belgorod is shitting their pants right now. NAFO. Hey, yo. Article 24, Operation Sea Baby. Third, United 24 and NAFO drone fundraiser. I used a part of my funds. I think I'm gonna use the rest on this. Just like all on this. Yes, you can watch a video promotion, little one. Oh, I know it's cooperation. I don't know whose idea it is. Stenenko is also cooperating. I've got around, I think I have around 50 euros more, 50 euros this month in my donation fund. I'm gonna give them every single cent. $221,000 for a Sea Baby naval drone. Oh, there's a raffle! If you donate 5 or more, unique replica model of a Sea Baby drone, and then United 24 sweatshirts. I'm joining this. I'm joining this. I'm bidding 5 times 10. I'm bidding 5 times 10. I'm fucking bidding. I'm bidding for this. I want this. I want the fucking replica. I want the shirt too. I want everything. I never got anything from these bids. I mean, I don't even feel bad about it. I don't even feel bad about it because I feel good for donating. Wait, do they have? They're not telling us how much they got. Cause I was reading Stenenko today. Look at my man. Look at my man. Look at my man. Oh, he had a really cool post today. Cause he made one post. Can't show you his videos. He posts not safe for work shit. What was his post? No, it wasn't 5 hours ago. It was more than 5 hours ago. Oh, this one, where he posted about the Sea Baby drone. And he said that they want to collect 297.5 million hryvnias for 35 boats. And then, like, just a bit later, he's like, we already have 5. I called the fleet and asked, are you ready? And they go, for what? So yeah, we got 103. We got almost half in 11 hours. We got almost half. Hey, yo, how cool is that? How cool is that? So, yeah, donate. Donate, give lots of cash. How much is that in real money? Wait, I don't even know. I have genuinely no idea. Wait, he's saying 297.5 million? I don't know. If you give 8.5, you can name the boat. Link for donation. I'm gonna give you the link. You want NAFO or you want United 20? What do you want? Basically, do you want to be in the raffle or do you not want to be in the raffle? Here's this one, and then here's this one, and then you're going to raffle against me. And then here's Danenko, because he has a link if you want to send to him. I also love sending to him because I love this man. Where's the link? And then here's his post, and you can find the link down if Monobank works for you. It's 7 million. Nice. Hey, nice. Wait, what was the conversation? I saw the conversation and then I stopped. Scott friend? Oh yeah, Scott is... Interesting. Putin claiming to support Biden isn't mutually exclusive. With Biden bad, America bad, inflation propaganda. And this is a false dichotomy. The thing with Russian propaganda is that it makes no sense, and it's supposed to make no sense. What they do is, I think English people have a word to say this, a term to say. You people say someone's throwing shit on a wall and seeing what sticks. And that's basically what Russian propaganda is. That's what you see whenever there's a war crime uncovered, for example. We didn't do it, but we did do it, but it was deserved. But we didn't do it, the other side actually did it. Oh, no one did it, it was all photoshopped. Right? Oh, it's an old video, actually. Oh, they staged out, they were filming a Hollywood movie. And then there's like 5 different lies that can't coexist. You know, it can't be true that no one did it, but they murdered someone, but also they didn't do it, they were filming a Hollywood movie, but also we did do it, but we had the right to do it. It can't exist in the same place. But the reason why they say so many lies at once is because every single person in the West is going to get caught up to one of these lies, depending on which one of these lies plays the best with their moral values. So what you're having is a situation where, like, you're gonna have 20 Russia supporters who have their little 20 different sets of value, and they all believe in 20 different lies. And they never have to talk to each other, they just are supporting Russia from their own little corner. So yeah. In Russian propaganda, the Biden good view that Putin was giving isn't necessarily fighting against the Biden bad propaganda. Biden support isn't fighting against Biden bad because Russian propaganda isn't meant to fight other iterations of Russian propaganda. They're supposed to be existing at the same time, so people get caught to it. T54, oh nice. Skynet is the only channel I reported. Oh, holy shit. I don't know what the man does. I know his chat is wild. Not really sure what he's been doing lately. My boss called me an absolute Russia hater today, I think. Oh, what the hell. Oh, nice. Nice. Oh, Trinzo! Yo, I haven't seen her in such a long time. I haven't seen Trinzo posting in such a long time. I miss this woman. She's great. Also, I haven't shown you the rest of Arthur's video before I leave.
And France have right now allowed it. They have allowed only in Occupy Crimea, of course, but I see any NATO weapon being allowed to use inside Russia also because the war in Ukraine is possible because of military facilities in Russia. You gotta eliminate them.
It's kind of sad though that we like
sometimes it's easier to
have to
eliminate
wait
targets
to get
in
the
the
right
deep
for
rear of the
self-defense.
enemy
That's
than
kind
in
of
the
stupid.
front lines. That's the case right now with Ukraine. They're striking Russian factories every day, but it's quite difficult to push through the Surovikin line. But if you eliminate the factories, if you eliminate the oil refineries, there will be no more Surovikin line. That's how it is. It's a war on logistics. So this Jens Stoltenberg message right now that the F-16 can wreak havoc in the rear of the enemy, beautiful. My friends, yesterday Shoigu, the defense minister of Russia, reported officially and on camera to Putin that the Krinky bridgehead, the very small Ukrainian bridgehead, the 300 Spartans, because actually it is 300 to 500 Ukrainian Marines who are holding that bridgehead and holding back and tying up 10,000 Russian troops. Shoigu reported yesterday that this bridgehead have been pushed back, and Russians actually recaptured the bridgehead and the Krinky settlement. Now here are Russian troops, Russian Marines right next to being, tomorrow they're going to attack this bridgehead. They are here to tell the real situation.
Them from the ass.
And it is very telling, because if your minister of defense directly lies to your president or dictator, then what does it say about your faith if you are the guy who has to strike the bridgehead that supposedly has already been captured?
This isn't really the first time it has happened.
That these guys will not make it, and that they will be sent
Yeah, you
as
start from the
cannon
ass
fodder
and then you move
until
your
the
way
bridgehead is
forward.
captured. And these guys are not very happy about it. Let's watch the video. Let's start with the fact that we have learned that we are now in Russia, in the Russian Federation. They're talking about the fact that sorry, I paused already, but there's so much to speak here. These guys are obviously in occupied Ukraine. But since if you're in occupied Ukraine, the Russian Minister of Defense is by law obliged to pay you like 3-4 times more money. If you're not in occupied Ukraine, you're in Russia, they don't have to pay you that money. So what they do is they register the guys as being in Russia, but the guys are actually in occupied Ukraine in a war zone, so they don't get paid the right amounts that they're sent as cannon fodder. So bad, and even worse. How did we find out? Some servicemen began to block the accounts of judicial staff. The judicial staff made a request to the Ministry of Defense. The Ministry of Defense replied that we are not on the special military operation.
Is another one that never really made sense if anyone was following
the situation. So imagine, you're in a war zone, you're right next to the Ukrainian trenches, you're like, hey, good morning, my neighbor, and the guy's like,
no, after they sent through
see the Ukrainians,
and we're still...
And then you're a Minister of Defense and Ministry of Defense send you a letter that you were not there. Don't fool yourself. You're not in war. We're not going to pay you the war wages. About the islands, he said, we're talking about the Dnipro Islands, very important position. Whoever controls these islands controls the future potential and possibility to strike deeper into Russian-occupied southern Ukraine from these islands. If the Russians control these islands, they could strike into Ukrainian Kherson Oblast. About the islands, he said, the islands are located on the Dnieper River. If you look at the map, it is from the village of Krimka a little forward.
Screaming means nothing.
Then the enemy.
Can we hope Poland is going to say something?
The islands are not occupied by us. I even love how they say occupied by us. If I say there's two versions, you know. Ukrainians liberate, Russians occupy.
Oh, I can tell you why. I can tell you why. Oh, there's been this trend. There's been this thing. Oh, I was so salty when it started on Twitter. You guys remember on Twitter when people were being like, Russia has this term, and this is when a government lies to you, and you know the government is lying to you, and then you accept the government is lying to you, and Russia has this word for that specifically. Oh, the mysterious Russian soul. And it's just called lying. We just call it lying. We just call it being a lying little piece of shit. But like, you remember when Twitter people were acting like it's the deepest thing ever, and then Russia has a term for lying? That sounds foreign to me. I think it's one of those things. Russia doesn't say he's lying to me. Russia says Lasha. And I think that's beautiful. Intellectual fart sniffing. Yeah, basically that. Man, that was a huge trend. Oh, that was so weird. Russians have this culture of doing this thing where like the government is saying not untruthful things and they just accept it. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Mysterious soul, isn't it? That's all of it. All of it. He wants to be seen as Peter the Great. Catherine the Great wants to achieve this by annulling the greatest tragedy in human history, which is disbanding of Warsaw Pact and USSR. Europe. Rutte would need a 2/3 majority? Oh. My dream boyfriend? Who? I was trying to finish Arthur's video and now I have to see my dream boyfriend. If it's someone bad, I'm gonna cry. Fuck you. Looking for a girl a bit younger, bro. You get a girl, you're gonna be happy. To become a slave for her, I mean, it was the other way. This dude would get someone to like lie with him. He has a toilet, he'll get a lot of Russian women. Scott Efron moderators. Man, not the website says everyone has to agree. Oh, we need Poles to be the voice of reason. Also Croats. Why did I think of Poles before thinking of Croats? We need Croats to be the voice of reason. Oh, just a second. Uh-oh, he wants to play submissive. He's saying that he looks like that and he can't find a woman. That's what he's saying. I look like this, I can't find a woman. I will be your slave. Just please, please, please give me some sort of attention.
The wording of Russian soldiers, they don't say we liberated, they say we occupied. And Russian military maps always show Russians as red and Ukrainians as the blue. Red is always the bad, blue is always the good. Everybody knows that.
Definitely, yeah, actually, definitely.
The Russians, like, have you seen this meme of British guys made this like funny video of playing Germans in World War III? It's like, are we the bad guys? Are we the baddies? Oh my God, are we, like, they have skulls and everything. Like, we have skulls. Like, are we the bad guys? Skulls are bad.
He'll beat
like,
his
these guys say we occupy.
Oh shit,
they show themselves
like
as
that.
red. I mean, I'm pretty sure they begin to understand that they are the baddies. I don't know who said, who came up with it, who gave such a command to the islands occupied by us. The point is they're not there, you know. People are actually thrown at the meat. They are beaten with mortars, they're beaten with AGCs.
I mean, listen, to be fair, like these people, they're coming out speaking against Russians. I feel they're just not gonna get any ammo deliveries in 2 weeks, and that's that. Russia's gonna be, you know, dealing with the problem of dissidents there, so... Arthur A with the coding comes close. He does. He comes really, really close. Oh, gorgeous. Fucking gorgeous. Like, oh, what a gorgeous instrument. Gorgeous goddamn instrument. Not getting attention in Russia, where men get sent to slaughter, must be pretty tough. Oh shit, yeah, that too. There's not enough men there. He's probably gonna get his chance soon. So yeah.
Shooting battles, people people die in an attempt to get there. A tank or AGC hit a boat or a mortar, it is not clear. 7 people just went to the bottom, risking their lives to go there. 2 boatmen, 5 of them were just blown up. They were just blown up, they were just... Sorry, the subtitles are repeating. But not like that. They are written off, as I understand, they just lost their lives or something like that. Yeah, so these guys are officially not in occupied Ukraine. And 7 people went under the waves to the bottom of the sea because AGS hit the boat. They're written off. What does it mean? If a soldier dies in a special military operation, southern occupied Ukraine, for example, their relatives get a lot of money and a lada and some like onions or something. If they don't die, if they're not written as in the special military operation zone, if they die officially in Russia,
you know, he plays an accordion.
Their relatives get nothing. So Putin does not have an abundance of money. Doesn't want to pay these
There's no good man
tens of
anymore.
Thousands of relatives this huge amount.
I meet a good man outside. I'm like, are you
USD
single? He's like, yeah. I'm like, can you play accordion? He's like, no.
Reparations they have to pay. So they write the guys off who went under the wave. 7 guys. They write them off as
no
they died in Russia doing
players
military exercises.
Left
Nobody
in this
gets
world
nothing.
To
That's
date.
what's going on.
Wait, Iceland. I wonder if they have. I'm really into looking at coat of arms of different countries. Ever since I saw USA has like very bad chaos ones. But yeah, when it comes to the seaside to area, 10 out of 10. When it comes to the coat of arms though, when it comes to the coat of arms, oh look, oh, big, oh, detailed. Detailed, but also blocky. Oh, Oh, wow. Oh, good, great. Oh, look at the feather details. Oh, this is huge. Make it smaller. Oh, and then there's a little piece of land, and there's the oh. Good. I want to say at least like 8. At least 8. Maybe 9 even. This was good. I think this was the best one we've seen. Look at the details and everything. Huh, I like it. Sentiments towards academia and science. I think we're doing alright. We are improving a lot of our research facilities recently. The one close to me in Osijek is just getting upgraded now. The news released like today in newspapers. I think we're doing well. Overall, I think we're doing well. We did have anti-vaxxers. As like the representatives of the anti-science moves. We did have anti-vaxxers. For a while they were pieces of shit. They caused measles to come back. They caused whooping cough to come back. So that was rather bad. But luckily we didn't have a lot of them in the country. I think most of our people are just normal when it comes to that. So overall we're GG. If by academia you mean like higher education opinions, I think we're kind of chill. Like we value labor a lot. We value crafts. Is that the name for it? You can earn a lot of money, even if you don't have a college. If you just like have a job, like I don't know, what's krovopokrivač in English or stuff like that. But there's lots of jobs that you can be doing without having higher education, and you can still live well. So, just think we're like basic. Photographer? Hey, I'm not sure how well you can earn as a photographer. Can you earn a lot as a photographer? I had a friend who wanted to be a photographer, and then he was working on some application. That would like, it was basically an application that people can invite him to, so he can come to their home to take like he called it emergency photographs. So the idea was like you invite me and I come to your home and I have like those little background thingies that I put for like documents, official documents or something. So if you quickly need a document made and you need an official photo, but you can't really go to the town to get it or whatever, you invite him and he takes a photo at your home. I don't really know how that went. I don't really know if he worked on it. I'll need to figure it out. But that was a cool idea. That was a cool little thing. He did say there's a lot of saturation on the market though. He said there's a lot of other people trying to do photography. So, NATO Secretary General can only be a country fulfilling 2%. Oh, that would be interesting. Vukovar one? Oh, this one is... I know he's not from Vukovar. I don't know where he's from. Vishnyevac, I think, actually. Yeah, it was Vishnyevac. It was Vishnyevac. He was working with me on the on a project. 2% is not a rule, but a guideline. We make it so you have to fulfill the guideline. We write it as the guideline. Very close,
People
yeah.
get
Like
there. They can't get out.
half an hour?
They can evacuate or for 2 days. People rot
40
under
minutes.
shelling. In short,
I've
we
never
were thrown in, turns
went
out
between the two
that our command
I don't
gives false information.
Half an
So
hour, I
these are
guess.
the troops, these are the meat, the very first pawns, frontline soldiers. If they say Minister of Defense giving report to Putin, that means their commanders are feeding up the chain false information. For what? To get promoted? To not get killed? For fear? Whatever reason they're doing this,
Also, I have to
these
answer.
guys have to pay for it. And they see Minister of Defense spreading lies to dictator. It takes their motivation right away. My friends, after the death of Navalny, you know, I will call it as it is, after the murder of Navalny by Vladimir Putin, US is announcing new sanctions on Friday, but the European Union already announced new sanctions. Both of these countries or entities are announcing big packets of sanctions. Now, I know people are now clicking away, getting sick. Oh, sanctions, they don't do nothing. What do you... People want tanks in Moscow. People want nuclear warheads exploding in St. Petersburg. They want Russia to burn. My friends, if we do it like that, we could. The collective West could. We have the capabilities to do it like that. But then they will rise up again. Sanctions, what they do, what's the beauty of it? is
Come
that
on.
Russia will slowly get worse. And Putin is playing the game to its own people that sanctions are not hurting us. But people see life going worse, 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 and it's going worse under Putin. Bad, 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 worse, worse, horrible, and it's all under Putin because sanctions are not hurting us. The West is not doing this
I
for
don't
us.
really know
So
if I'm
people
seeing his positive view of
see
this because I
themselves that
feel
their
even if
system's
like
wrong. If you, as a foreign
even
enemy,
if the situation is
West
going
a foreign enemy.
bad worse under Putin, you know, he still can just go and kill a few Ukrainian civilians, and they're going to be like great. And then you have to do like the whole bad thing once again. You know, it's like a line, and it's like the situation right now is neutral, and then it gets worse. Some Ukrainians have been killed. And then you have to, you know, slowly again, worse. And then he like kidnaps 100 new Ukrainian children. And then you slowly have to lower it down again. And I feel it's not really gonna work for a very long time. I have a Crimean coat of arms tattooed on my chest. Nice. Man, I hope you will be able to visit. I hope you will be able to visit. Yeah, Arthur being a bit too positive for my
Russia
liking.
go and attack Moscow, they have a reason to,
Putin flips
in
it back,
3
blames the
generations,
West,
fight
slows
back,
down
stand
hate
up,
for him. Oh yeah, that's
revolutionize,
true,
whatever they
that's
want to
true.
do. And it happens all again. If you really want to destroy the idea, and ideas are the most dangerous. They cannot be attacked with tanks.
Yeah, I can
You
even
got
agree with that.
to let,
With
you gotta let
Prigozhin,
this
yeah.
idea being destroyed by the people
A
themselves.
band of
And this
mercenaries,
only
that was
happens
great.
if they see
And
how
they just
rotten their system is.
gave up.
And sanctions are perfect for it. They're a slow weapon. They're a very effective weapon. And they take
was
time,
such a good
but
chance.
they are efficient, thorough,
There was such a good
and
chance
it's
to
very
go and
hard
to
come
do
back from
something,
them.
and they did nothing.
So I do trust the sanctions. If you want more bloody means, of course, send the weapons to Ukraine. I'm all for that. But
Such a failure.
sanctions must
Yeah,
continue.
one in a lifetime.
And they must be imposed and they must be enforced. Now, the European Union agreed on Wednesday to slap Russia with a new round of sanctions, which for the first time, and this is great, check this out, target companies in mainland China. Woohoo! Yeah, I love to hear this. Suspected of helping Kremlin get hold of forbidden items. This is beautiful. China is also now in the list. So they are really starting to feel the pressure of Putin prolonging this war, and they're playing two games. They're supporting Putin, and they're selling drones to Ukraine, like thousands, tens of thousands per month, actually, to Ukraine. So they're playing both games, but now they're going to feel the pain of supporting Putin, and they don't feel the pain of supporting the West because the West pays good money. Russia doesn't. China loves money. This is how it is. Yes, I'm saying that again, and fix me in the comments if I'm wrong. The Communist Party of China and Communist China love money. How communist are they in the end? Everything is about economics. And the West has money. Now, my friends, this video is 2 days old, but it's so beautiful. True. It's like, if you have your popcorn left, just now it's time to eat it. It's just so pretty. It's an eye candy. Ukrainian military personnel from the Presidential Brigade destroyed Russian equipment in the hangar. It's just, oh, it's beautiful, beautiful. I will read it to you and then we'll watch it. 2 C-16 installations based on SIL, 2 T-72 tanks, BMP-3, rare Terminator armored combat vehicle, yeah, the new Russian Wunderwaffe, Gazelle, 2 Urals from BC. Now, these were just in a hangar, just standing there. Let's see. Ukrainian drone is flying. This is the first one, by the way. It just discovers it. Oh, goes in the hangar. What do we have here? Party for armored vehicles. Just chilling here.
I'm really hoping you're correct.
Ooh, what are we going to do with them?
Russian people with a brain and
Doesn't
brave
know
soul
what to
should
do, looks around,
Putin.
finds a Terminator.
Did you know these two
very
things
rare
Russian people are
vehicle
to
that is not
find?
that good, actually. And,
I like how you people are just like,
oh, okay, connecting to it. Bada bim, demilitarized. Now, this is the second drone. They're beginning to send a whole fleet of drones there because this warehouse is a gold mine.
He would either stop the war completely and focus on Africa, or he could have just went
second
bananas.
Drone, boom, straight
Russia
into the
would
tank.
fall,
Third
which would
drone,
definitely benefit Ukraine.
BMP-3,
Yeah, same
boom,
here.
straight into it.
Same here,
Fourth
same here.
drone, this is beautiful.
He was a good chance to overthrow Putin. I don't know if he was a good chance
Bada
to
boom,
end
knocked out cold.
the war.
And now the warehouse is on fire and it's not over yet. The Undertaker is flying in. This is like a wrestling match, honestly. Flying in, it's super hot. It's like 1,000,000 degrees inside, smoke everywhere. The screen is flicking. What are you gonna do? You're still gonna find yourself a self-propelled howitzer. That's what's up. You found it and boom, connected to it. I can't. This is so perfect. In this video today, we see again HIMARS demilitarizing Russians without them even getting to the trenches. Very good. Now we see Russian equipment being destroyed in a warehouse. What is this? Another one?
20-25%.
Oh my God.
Again,
How
republics.
many of these? Okay,
Some
now
republics
you can see
maybe
the huge
reach like
kaboom
40
going
or
on.
whatever. But
this was pretty. I
feel
needed
like
that
if you
in
were
my
to go
day.
to
I don't
Moscow and
know
say
about you, but
Moscow,
this really
St.
made me feel
Petersburg,
better. My
if
friends,
it reaches
I
double
recently
digits, I
found
would
out,
be
and
genuinely
I've
surprised.
been a YouTuber for 10 years, and I only now found out that you have to push the bell notification. It's a shameful thing. If you subscribe, then YouTube doesn't show my videos. If you push the bell notification, you will see them every time I
He's
upload.
selling
So
out.
please do. Everybody else is
Push the
asking
little
for it,
bell
and I
and
kind
then
of
like
didn't know
and
why,
comment.
but now I understand. So yeah, subscribe and the bell notification, then you'll see my videos. It's all good and lovely, and we'll laugh again tomorrow. Until my next video, which will be tomorrow, my friends, stay cool, stay happy, stay smiling, slava Ukraini, and bye-bye.
Oh, I love him. Have you seen that fucking ad? See? See what I get in my ads? See what I get in my ads? It's the games, and they're always something weird, kinky based.
Man, this bog sure is beautiful. But I'm hungry. I want some bacon. Let's make some bacon. When in an Estonian bog with an Estonian girlfriend, you gotta eat some American bacon.
American bacon.
I didn't even bring the tent because it's so warm in Estonia, and we're gonna sleep on this. A mattress. Luxury life.
That's actually wholesome.
Bacon for you. Let's taste some freedom. Man, this bog sure is beautiful. But I'm hungry. I want some bacon.
That's cute.
Let's make
Oh,
some bacon.
that is cute. They go out camping. I'm jealous. Man, she took the fucking accordion player. He takes her out camping. He makes American bacon for her. I'm fucking jealous. I'm fucking jealous. By the way, I'm leaving the stream. Israel, you starting controversy now that I'm leaving. Now that I'm leaving, my dude. I'm gonna save that for next stream. On Monday we do the stream again. I'm gonna put Israel there from the start. So your controversy has time to actually be controversial. I need to add like a debate button in the redeems so we can fight. I feel like fighting would be fun. I feel it would suit me well. If US had propaganda like Russia, we would have already taken over the world 10 times. Yeah, so please, come on, start. Start. What are you doing? Where's your internet research agency? Where's your little starting fights between Russians and other Russians? Weird to get bacon all the way from the US? I'm not really. Not really. Why would you get it from Netherlands? USA has this thing where their shit is... How to say this? how to say that? How to explain it? USA makes things that are extremely, shockingly unhealthy for you. But they taste rather well. You don't really get that if you buy some proper bacon from like a proper European store. You don't get the same quality of produce. 3 countries other than Russia, which are you choosing? Can I just nuke Russia 3 times? wanna nuke Russia, wanna nuke Moscovia. Wanna nuke... Who else do I wanna nuke? I don't wanna nuke anyone, really. I don't even wanna nuke Russia. You wanna nuke Saudis? I'm not sure I would be nuking Saudis, to be honest. North Korea? Oh, North Korea. But then I would feel bad about all the people that... Like, they're already in a horrible situation. Then you fucking nuke them? Say with Iran. How many brave women of Iran would you kill by nuking them? No, that would be cruel. You cruel little people. You cruel little people. They go there and they like protest so much and everything, and then you would just like nuke them. That's fucking cruelty. No, women of Iran are amazing. They don't deserve that. I would give them weapons though. I would give them military aid. I would do that. I would give them some rocket launchers or some shit. I would do that. I would like that idea. I wouldn't nuke them. I would just give them weapons. North Korea, Iran, and Florida. What did Florida do? The women in Iran. Isn't that against the US? Russian Empire, USSR, Duchy of Vladimir, and one of the Dutch of Moscow. Proper. It's Florida true. Has Florida man? Isn't Florida? Is it Florida man the meme? What man is the meme in USA? It's the Florida one, right? I feel I would be kind of sad for that too. City in Iran with the highest man-women ratio. I mean, but yeah, right. I see it. If drugs were going to be illegal, they needed to make food addictive. Yeah, possibly. USA foods are really, really interesting. Like I know USA people love to bitch about like this idea of them having no culture, but they do have a culture, and it's pretty damn fun, to be honest. It's really, really fun. Like I see sometimes people in USA posting about what you people eat and how you like fry everything. I've seen a fried pizza recently. I feel that would be a delight. I don't know. I would just like love to go to USA and just eat the most unhealthy food you people have. Oh yeah, USA food in big cities. Oh, I see so many videos of like restaurants making like the most unhealthy versions of food from other countries. I love that. I just love that. I feel it would be amazing. Like if I ever get the balls to not fear your fucking AR-15s, and I actually come there, I'm getting one of those deep dish pizzas or whatever. You don't even have that here. You don't have that shit here. Huh? Florida law makes all their crime records public? Ah, so it's like easy to see when Florida people are stupid. Huh. Don't really have the same culture of having a butcher's, baker, and greengrocers on every street corner. Unless you're in the big city like New York City, it's harder for people to get healthier stuff. Oh. Could understand that. I could understand that. The good thing, though, is that I wouldn't come to USA to eat healthy shit. I would be like starving myself here. And then I would come to USA and I would grow to like 120 kilograms. In USA, they would call me skinny. And then I would come back and like have to exercise or some shit. But I love those videos of like street food in USA and restaurants in USA and everything. You people seem incredible when it comes to that. It's like, whoa. And I mean, listen, I love unhealthy food a lot. I think I've been kind of blessed by growing up in Croatia, because especially in a village area, because you can't really get fast food that often here. Man, I feel if I was in USA, I would be one of those like 500 kilogram people. I would be on one of those TV shows that they make, you know, following around fat people, seeing how they live. I would be that. You can study how to be a pro-obesity activist? What? I want to be that. Also, I have to leave. I have to go. Bucky's gas station, what's that? I have to leave. I have to go take a shower. By the way, no stream tomorrow. Next stream Monday, okay? No stream tomorrow. Next stream Monday. The reason why next stream Monday... Oh, it's a gas station. It's a convenience store. Is because I'm painting my room this weekend. So I will not actually be around. I will not be around and I will not be existing here. So yeah, chill until Monday. If you have some news, send them to the Discord. There's a huge convenience store? Is this where Tucker Carlson goes to jerk off? Is it? Why are you taking down your bots? Hey, I'm not. I'm just an idiot. We get a lot of copyright strikes on this channel. And because we get a lot of copyright strikes on this channel, they don't publish automatically. I have to click to publish them. And then I forget. That's literally the whole story about it. Holy shit. Oh wait, those are... Jealous. Jealous. I'm coming to USA. I'm specifically like, my plane is gonna land here. And I'm gonna go, and I'm just gonna like run here for like for half a day. That's gonna be the whole thing. Just like me walking around being like, wow, we don't have this. It's like 3 cities in Croatia. You could pile them up, and you wouldn't have this. How cool is that? Texas. It's a cool little thing. It's a huge little thing. I love it. I love you, USA people. I hope you know that. Give us more weapons, though. Give us more weapons. But, I love you anyways. She thinks she can walk. What do you mean? You can walk there. It's walkable concrete. It's walkable leave me alone. Yes, send us more ammunition. Send us more ammunition and leave me alone. I'm going to paint my room. I'm going to leave the car for the US. It's Texas, technically. Can't I get a horse? What would stop me? You can rent them. A horse? Is it here? A horse? I'm still talking about horses. Because I'm still on the topic of horses. I would love to come to Texas, rent a horse, and just like go around to pizza places and eat unhealthy shit. That would be a holiday of my dreams. Like, fuck these losers coming to France and climbing on the Eiffel Tower. I would have a goddamn horse, and I would eat like 20 kilograms of pizza in a minute. You'll leave your boyfriend out to this. Now I'm leaving. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next Monday. Stay strong, stay healthy. Send money to Ukraine. Send money for the sea baby drones. And also send us more ammunition, okay? I know you have it. I know you have it stashed somewhere. Kayak Halas said you have it in your garages and you don't need it. Okay, I heard her say it. And I know you have it. Send it.